decision I've made in a long time. I should not have made that decision. I grabbed my wife's pina colada thing from the freezer, put it in a cup for her real quick, and just force a habit. Like there's the ice on the top of it, and I licked the top of the thing, and there's just coconut in it. Oh my god. It was absolutely disgusting. I didn't even pay attention to what I was doing. I should have known better. It was a mistake. But I'll suffer for the next, 10 minutes doing it. Son. Yeah. It's a buggy. So needless to say, welcome to the Zac Yak Pack on the Jaggers Juxtaplooza. I'm your host, Zach, and with us we have a fellow friend of mine, because the other Zach just won't be here. Army drill or some nonsense. So, those of you who don't know, like you, little Jason, you may not know. You want to go ahead and use a hashtag, all right? You see it at the bottom of the screen, little Jason. The hashtag, okay? It says, hashtag don't be a Nick, okay? There's some background to that, but don't be a Nick, okay? And then you want to go ahead and follow us on the Facebook at the Jaggers Juxtaplooza. You can follow me on Instagram at MPJags. The other Zach still has nothing to follow him on. But you perhaps might, that people want to. But they can also get official merchandise at cafepress.com/thejaggersjuxtaplooza. Little Jason, like the pineapple shirt, okay? Like the pineapple shirt. There's the yaks in the background up there. We've got yak merchandise too. So, are you going to give me any words whatsoever during this entire show?
Yeah, probably.
Yeah. Lean forward so we can all hear your wisdom. No, just in time. Hold on, just in time. Shows up right after we do an introduction. We have with us a non-veteran here, so we can actually get a full realm of conversation. We have the wonderful Michael Shannon with us. Mike now, as it is.
Hello. Cheers, fellas.
So, Mike, Jason, little Jason, big Mike.
Nice to meet you, little Jason.
We called him Skeletor a couple of times, too, at one point. So
Skeletor? Okay.
Yeah. No, like, literally, he was, like, skin and bone in Afghanistan. Like,
okay.
He was like 90 pounds, man. Like 5'7", 90 pounds. It wasn't a big deal.
Yeah.
Just little.
My wife just goes, he weighed less than I did? It's like, yeah. And he was in his, like, late 20s, too. So, yeah, like, your Vietnam tunnel rat, that was little Jason. Yeah, sitting in Afghanistan, right, we're firefighting ensues, right? Little Jason and I are the only ones awake, right? And we're doing a guard shift change. This is my fault. I should have known better. Don't ask an idiot. How's it going? He comes back with, it's been a quiet night, because we have to do a change from radio to being up in the on the gun on the top of the building every half an hour, and it's 1 hour shift. 2 seconds later, mortars and whatnot start going off. I should have known better. Don't ask an idiot, because he's going to jinx us right then and there. So he says, hey, it's been a quiet night, and next thing I know, it's time for us to start, being awake. And he starts shooting this 50 cal off, right? And I've got my 249 with a thermal scope. And next thing I hear, well, is besides no 50, is Jaggers. I'm like, what the fuck? He's like, the 50's broke. It don't work. I was like, oh, well, okay, we're fucked. I look over, this dude, 90 pounds, like 85 to 90 pounds, is cockroached under this tripoded 50 cal because the mortar rounds pushed it off the sandbags. So he's laying there all cockroach flailing around. I was like, well, there's nothing I can do. Everybody else, you can hear them waking up, getting in their gear for this. Because, it's what, 1 o'clock in the morning, Jason?
Yeah, maybe if we're lucky.
Yeah. So needless to say, I nothing I can do. So I start shooting off rounds. There's Afghan police officers around, like firing. I bet they're blind. They don't have night vision or thermals or anything like that. All they can do is just guess where the rounds are coming from is where they need to send rounds. So they're not gonna hit anything, but might deter the concept. Next thing I know, I hear the 50 going off. I was like, somebody must have come up and helped him. No, the adrenaline buried through this little shit. It literally lifts this thing up off his chest and drops it onto the or back onto the sandbags in the wall.
Wow.
Yeah.
This is not light.
No, what would you guess the weight is, Jason?
I think it's like 110 pounds when it's fully loaded with ammo.
So at this point, it weighs more than you do.
Yeah, absolutely. Yeah,
wow.
It was.
Yeah, because we had a Mark 19 can, which obviously Mark 19's your automatic grenade launcher, right? It's going to have heavier rounds than what a 50 cal will. And needless to say, we had that full of 50 cal rounds.
Yeah.
So that just adds more and more weight to this whole thing. Because like your Mark 19, let's give it like an example like this, like the whole screen, and your 50 cal is going to take up like maybe that much of your screen, just for comparison difference.
I gotcha.
So yeah. Needless to say, quite an interesting ordeal there.
Yeah, when I lived in Michigan, they would sell those things at the gun store. The 50 cal.
Surplus stores and whatnot.
Yeah, they have usually sitting on the ground because they're too heavy for the glass case.
Fair enough.
Yeah.
But I don't want this show to be all reminiscing in politics. Hold on.
He's 144 pounds.
144 pounds. Yeah, so that's like 150% of you. That's some adrenaline.
Oh, okay. Yeah. My wife was like trying to figure out what was going on because it was showing my mouth moving like 100 miles a minute, faster than normal, and like flailing around and shit. But she's trying to figure out. She's like, "Oh, it's just Facebook like did its quick fast buffer thing on her, or YouTube or whatever." So yeah, really confused her because she's like, "I think your web show's fucking up." It's like, no, never mind. It was her app on Facebook or YouTube or whatever. But no. So I've got some humor. I like to share humor with people too. I don't want everything to be all 100%. This Afghanistan conversation stuff, which I would like some opinions from other people, but this one throws me. This lady in Russia, she's Orthodox Catholic, obviously, because there's more Orthodox and Roman Catholic over there. She saw a poster advertising McDonald's chicken nuggets and cheeseburgers, and that poster caused her to want it so badly that it broke her fasting for Lent, and she's suing McDonald's for that poster
for
causing her
control. Yeah,
for a consumer protection law. Yeah, and it's 1,000 rubles, but that's the equivalent of $14. Now, is this to me, or is it just me that's just one retardedly small amount of money to sue for, and two, a very stupid reason to sue a corporation?
Yeah, I think she's just looking for a reason. Sounds like somebody's just looking for a reason.
And it took like years later when it comes into effect. So really, that throws me for a complete loop. So I thought that would be an interesting, humorous one to get everything started with.
It reminds me of the finger in the Wendy's chili.
A little bit. You
guys remember that?
Yeah. That one was up there in the idea too of just being a stupid.
You know what that was all about? That was like somebody who like owed somebody money. And so they sent him the finger, and then they just went into the Wendy's and dropped it in their chili.
See, that doesn't surprise me. People do anything for an unnecessary lawsuit.
I used to make that chili when I worked at Wendy's, so if there was a finger in there, somebody would know about it. This is probably the guy who made the chili.
Right. Yeah, somebody's going to the hospital there.
Yeah. It would have been well known that the finger was missing.
No, I worked at a restaurant growing up, and guy like knocked off like that much of his finger.
Yeah.
On the meat slicer. We threw out all that meat, obviously, but just that little bit of finger caused him to have to go to the hospital.
Oh, yeah.
I mean, so imagine more feet, anything more there. So,
Yeah.
but I've heard a little on your thoughts to a degree on the whole fall of Kabul, but I have not heard little Jason's opinions on the fall of Kabul.
Yeah, I don't.
No. On the concept of the non-political, not taking any sides here. This we're just talking straight. I'm not even after people's political opinions of the whether the war was right or wrong. We were there.
Yeah.
We went in for the right reasons. I've been there during the some of the better times, some of the worst times, mostly worse.
Yeah, mostly worse, right?
Yeah, when we were over there, Al Qaeda was still running around. Like there was no this post 2014. Everything's actually calmed down for the most part. We were there all before that.
Yeah.
Yeah, Jalalabad and Sadabad. I actually got a message from somebody from Sadabad the other day, and I was like, I don't know. There's not shit I can do, man.
Yeah. Lean your microphone, Jason. You'll have to speak up a little bit.
Yeah. No, I mean, it's a shit show, man. We fought for. I mean, I know me and you at least in 2 years before that. I was in with Iraq, and to that fucking quick, man, that's ridiculous. It took a day, 20 years. I had people really, really, really close to me die, and it took a day for them to take the country back. It's ridiculous. Like, we trained half those people.
I got blown up in 2011, which was all your fault, Martin. By the way, so said Commander Roshan, which was the Afghan police commander. It was Jason's fault as far as he was concerned because Jason wasn't attached to my hip. Because you two are brothers, you're always together. Why were you not there? Why are you not hurt? Is what he kept yelling at Jason. But I got brought a Get Well watermelon. And we're talking in the desert. Like this is not going to be a cheap item to have. And in doing so, I mean that should tell you the respect that we garnered with the Afghan police themselves.
Yeah.
I fall of Kabul and all. I have some good news, right? Good news more personally, but an interpreter that Barton and I had worked with in 2008 and 2009. He got to the States in 2014. Apparently, his wife and daughter were still over there during the fall of Kabul. Last I heard, they made it to Qatar now, so they are in the process of making it to the States. But apparently, it's beyond bad over there. But like I said, a little more personal for me and Barton. I'm not gonna, because on the web show I'm not gonna say his name because the sheer fact of he still has family that's over there right now, and I wouldn't want that targeting him. Just because, we may not get the most viewers in the world. Like I get very few viewers because people don't share with their friends like they should. They don't use that hashtag "Don't be a Nick" and things like that. But no, I was trying to get a smirk on Barton's face, but he's not. He's not. But he can laugh about some of this stuff.
I'm laughing about you have Corona. You're drinking Corona right now.
I know. I'm drinking Corona. Why would I not? Like I have a case of Corona right now in my fridge.
What is Edge? Is that Ice House?
Yes.
Oof. Hombre.
So you're drinking poor man. Well, see, fact of the matter, he's always drinking poor man's alcohol, and that's because God cursed him with 4 girls.
I gotcha.
And a couple of them are the girly girls, and a couple of them not necessarily so much, but they're into the same thing Dad is, like computer coding and things like that. So that's just as pricey.
Yeah.
Yeah, normally I have a craft beer, but tonight I'm drinking the Johnny Walker.
Okay. A lot of times I'm drinking the Jim Beam, but between that or the Corona, and it's just I don't know. It's got a different flavor than a lot of like the Bud Lights and everything else. Just I got over a lot of that a while ago. But then again, I had some bad experiences hauling for Anheuser-Busch too. That might have been part of the turnoff of Anheuser-Busch brand.
Remember year-old beer?
Oh my God.
Year-old beer?
No, so back in the day, I used to drink a lot. A lot of times I don't remember drinking. In fact, I don't remember owning alcohol. Let's go with that. It's only a problem if you can't control it.
Mm-hmm.
Obviously, I control it now because my wife wouldn't let me buy beer if I couldn't control it. But my wife's also more for the harder liquors because they mix better anyways. My wife's like, beer's disgusting. I don't like the smell. I don't really want it in my house. So it's, good for being on the lawnmower because Corona tastes about the same as the grass clippings. When all of it hits your mouth, it's about the same flavor. So I had like a case of Corona. Apparently it was skunked in my refrigerator because I had, due to some situations, had to move in, and I moved into little Jason's house. We've lived like back and forth, at like 4 or 5 times over a span of like probably like 4 or 5 years that we've lived in each other's house. Like either him living at mine or vice versa. This one was the occurrence where I moved into his apartment, and so I brought beer with me that I thought would be, nice to have. Why not bring the beer? And no, not so much. I probably should have left that beer right in the dumpster. And of course, when we start drinking it, we're living in do you know what a moist county is?
Like a dry county and a moist county when you buy alcohol in?
Yeah. No, there's a wet county. Then there's a dry county. The moist county is you can go to Applebee's and you can buy a drink, but you can't go to the gas station and buy a beer. You can't go to Walmart and buy a beer. There's no liquor store. Nothing. But you can go to Applebee's and you can get a drink. We lived in a moist county.
Okay.
It's worse than a dry county because you get teased while you're at the restaurant, and then you go home and you're like, well, fuck.
It seems like the opposite of logic, where, a dry county is to limit people from abusing alcohol, drinking and driving, whereas a moist county seems to promote drinking and driving. Come out to the restaurant, have some drinks, get in your car and go home, but you can't drink at home. Right. It's more difficult to drink at home.
Well, you also have to realize that this was Fort Knox era, and so right outside of Fort Knox is going to be they want to watch how many bars can these brand new privates, when they get their day passes, buy alcohol secretly and then not get caught. Like, so there was probably that, along with the community of being super Christian, just like the fact that, look, if Catholics ran the freaking counties, we'd all be able to drink anywhere. We'd be fine. But you go down to the Bible Belt, and they're all like, oh, hey, drinking's bad, so you can manufacture the Jim Beam here, but you can't buy it. Okay.
So you guys were at Fort Knox for a while?
Yeah.
Oh, okay. Yeah, I have a friend who lives in Elizabethtown.
8 years, I think it was.
Okay. Yeah. What was it? I've had an apartment in Elizabethtown.
Yeah.
I lived in Radcliffe for a while. Little Jason finally escaped from fucking Kentucky. So, but he drives past my house all the time. Like, it literally wraps around to avoid it, and it's like, oh, hey, I was near where you were, but it's like, you little asshole. You're like, I came down and visited you, but you don't come visit me. But don't worry,
I tried to last time I went to California.
Yeah, but the other Zach, that does the show. He's supposed to come out to visit during Labor Day, and that already fell through because football for the kids. It's like, well, it's not real football because it's not school football. But, let your kids go do their football.
I mean, we probably won't go visit because I'm not getting the vaccination to go to California, so I'm not going to visit.
Oh, you're fine to come here. Now, unless they make they start doing that interstate travel thing. See, this is YouTube guideline too as well. Is also my 100% belief. Talk to your doctor. What your doctor says for you is the best interest for you.
That's it. 100%. That's what I always tell people. So
I don't care
who's not sure they want to get it. I'm like, don't listen to me. Don't read anything on the internet. Don't listen to Fox News or MSNBC or CNN. Don't listen to Fauci. Go talk to the guy you trust.
Now, unless you're in the Army, then you do whatever your commander says. Fuck what your doctor says, because that's how you get the hepatitis B vaccination every other week for like 3 months, and then when you look at your medical records, it says manufacturer unknown, lot unknown, and you go, nobody gets the hepatitis B vaccine that often, and they're like, bye. And it's like, wait, what? What'd you stick me with?
Yeah.
But I tell you, I felt like Captain America. I started putting on weight. Little Barton over here, he put on weight. Like that's when he went from 85 pounds up to like 102. But it was great increases. We were at the point. It didn't matter if we went to the gym. We couldn't bulk, but our strength improved. And it wasn't like they were giving everybody this vaccine or whatever vaccination for hepatitis B. But it's also come out that, I mean, look what kind of shots we've given soldiers for years. They mandated the H1N1 vaccine in the Army. We got it, and then they come back and like, we should never have let people have that. It's like, okay, so that for me, that's where at first I was like, okay, I want to see a little more like studies on this FDA. And then when it started coming through, I was like, okay, there's more than one version of this. It made more sense to me. So I was never one of those like vaccine hesitancy peoples. I'm one of those that are like, am I allergic to the ingredients in your vaccine? Turns out there are 2 of them that I am. But there's 3. So there's options. 2 of them I can't get. So it's up to me and my doctor. Yeah. Here comes the problem. When my doctor looks and goes, I'm nervous because the issues that have occurred with this specific vaccine that have leery habits towards men. No, I'd rather you get the others. It's like, well, I can't because my mother's allergic to stuff in those vaccines. I've never taken that medication, so I can't take the risk of those vaccines.
Yeah.
So it leaves me one option. To me, it's the one I wanted anyways if I had to get a shot because I'm not throwing out names, but I like the idea of one and done. Just saying.
Yeah.
I like the idea of stick me once. My anthrax shot sucked. You get it. You get the shot, come back in 3 weeks. Get the shot, come back in 6 months. Get the shot. You're supposed to continue that series, but VA says, oh, you're fine. You're out now. And you're like, it's supposed to be bad to stop getting this. It's also supposed to be bad to get this. So people's thyroids have burned out because of that anthrax vaccine. Everybody's body reacts differently to everything. So talk to your doctor. Unless you're in the Army and they mandate it, and, well, then you sign that contract, you deal with it. I'm out, so I can talk to my doctor.
Right? Non-VA doctor.
No, I like my VA doctors. But I'm part of the Ann Arbor clinic grouping. I refuse to go to the Fort Wayne side. I don't know what they're preaching to people, but I don't care. I don't go see them.
Yeah, I'm in Pensacola, fucking, it's a Mississippi one.
Pensacola, VA. That's what I call it. Good job. Enunciate because your microphone is not catching your voice very well.
I'm not gonna. I gotta put that up there then.
Well, yeah. Happen. I mean, how dare the microphone hear you? What the hell?
there's stuff on the wall that I can't.
The real question is, what's behind the cabinet door? I know it should be an electrical panel, but what's really behind the panel? You two
Panel
will
over
decide.
there?
No. The one over your right shoulder.
Yeah. Why would I have the panel here in my office?
Yeah, exactly.
Yeah, exactly.
We can speculate. Let's take bets. It could be the actual breaker box for the house. It could be his ammunition. It could be where he we won't go to places like that. This is YouTube, and sex toys is not an appropriate term to use on YouTube. But out of all seriousness here, though, Mike, I haven't got too much out of you over the last week on this. Handled well? Are you proud of the way things are being handled right now? I know you and I sit differently politically, so the question comes like, standing back, are you proud of the way that this is being handled, or are you in the same boat as a lot of us?
You know, I'm in the boat of, so this is what I remember Obama saying, and take what you will about Obama. He said, there really weren't good options. When he went to the generals about Afghanistan, there weren't a lot of options. And he ran on wanting to bring people home. And he ended up sending more troops, as far as I'm aware, to Afghanistan than bringing home. I don't know the numbers, so I can't tell you for sure.
Oh yeah, he was part of our surge. He was one of our surges.
A surge at some point, but
yeah,
I don't know what the full on ebb and flow is. So I'm of the school of thought that based on that information, and it's still seeming to be the same information today, whether it was Donald Trump or it was Joe Biden or it was Barack Obama, it wasn't going to be pretty. I think that maybe there could have been better things in place. But again, I'm not in the military and I don't make military decisions. So I feel like there's a lot of opinions out there. And as someone who is not military, I kind of have to defer to the people on the ground, the people that know the situation. I'll tell you this: it doesn't make me proud to see our military planes taken off and people panicking and dying trying to get out of the country because they're afraid for their lives. That doesn't make me feel good about being an American. Well, it makes me feel a little ashamed, to be honest with you.
Here's my thing. I'm going to quote something to you here. Hold on.
Sure.
I'm gonna make sure, even though. Though I do have it in memory still. I will not attempt to quote by memory because there's enough people that would try to call me out on that if I screwed it up. Though they'll call me out for reading it out too. We had this thing called the Soldier's Creed when I was in the Army. Last I knew, it still exists, but with new woke Army, maybe it doesn't. But
yeah, it does.
I'm an American soldier. I'm a warrior and a member of a team. I serve the people of the United States and live the Army values. I will always place the mission first. I will never accept defeat. I will never quit. I will never leave a fallen comrade. I am disciplined, physically, mentally tough, trained and proficient in my warrior tasks and drills. I will always maintain my arms, my equipment, and myself. I'm an expert. I am professional. I stand ready to deploy, engage, destroy the enemies of the United States of America in close combat. I'm guardian of freedom and the American way of life. I am an American soldier. Now, in that, I noticed a term here. One phrase, because there's a period after each of these. After every I is the start of a new sentence. I will never leave a fallen comrade. Mm-hmm. I listened to Marcus Luttrell give an interview the other day. And I can't, like he said, I won't go into politics. I won't tell you right or wrong or how to make your decision. But what I will tell you, and his answer was, when he was, played by Mark Wahlberg, lone survivor, Marcus Luttrell. His answer was, you sent the entire fucking army after me. Me, one person.
Yeah.
We have how many thousands of Americans stuck behind enemy lines right now? Now, I'm paraphrasing, but he did say the words, you sent the entire army after me, one person.
Yeah. That's that's a pretty stark contrast. Draws a stark contrast. Now, the Americans that are still there, are they I don't know who's still there. Are they journalists? Are they military? Are they civilian contractors? Like, who's still there?
Well, I'll tell you 100%. There's at least quite a few military there right now because we just dropped in like 7,000. So that aren't allowed to exit the airport. That's my issue. Not allowed to exit the airport. Outside, you have there's natural-born Americans. There's immigrated Americans. You have the people who served by our side.
He freeze on your end, Jason? Little J?
Yeah.
Yeah. I don't know. You got up when I was kind of giving my thoughts, and I'm just like, it seems like
that.
Oh, is he dropping back in? Well, I was going to tell you, like, it seems like it wasn't going to be great no matter who did it. That's why Obama did a surge. Donald Trump.
Yeah, I mean, it was a shitty situation. We're dealing with Vietnam all over again. It was unwinnable. No matter how much we did, it was unwinnable.
Yeah. And the way I think about it is a lot of people have opinions, and I'd rather defer to the people that know more about it, that are on the ground, people that were there, that are still there. I just think it's, and I told him, I'm like, I feel ashamed to see the images of people who are panicking for their lives because we just decided.
Yeah, absolutely. It hurts, and I care more about animals than I do people, but the fact that I know what they're going to go through. I know what they're going to deal with, and it hurts.
Yeah. So, I don't have strong opinions, but I have opinions of, it seemed like it was a bad situation no matter, whenever we got out, it wasn't going to go smooth. Could have been better. Yeah, probably. But it just doesn't make me feel great to watch those images,
Yeah.
Can you guys hear me again?
Yeah, we can hear you now.
Okay. So, needless to say, my thing is, no matter what, we send in whoever we have to secure the body of a soldier or Marine, airman, Guardian. I don't think they've fallen out of the sky yet. But if they die in space, we're going to try to find their body and bring it home, no matter what the cost. That's what we have always done. No matter what the cost, we bring you back, dead or alive. We don't leave you behind. This is tens of thousands. Tens of thousands. Why are we not just airdropping in? Why are we, the strongest military in the entire fucking world, not looking and saying, hey, Taliban, that's fine. We'll be at peace with you. Stay out of our way. We're coming out, and we're getting whoever we have to. Because we've always put our own life in the line to bring back the remains of a fallen soldier. We've put our own lives on the line to bring back the remains, even if that means you get injured or die and have to be brought back the same way. We're bringing you home. We traded the idiot who's in charge of freaking the Taliban right now for Bo Bergdahl. Now, I don't even want to go into politics of that asinine way to get someone back, but we brought back a traitor, allegedly. Opinionated. We brought him back.
I don't know if this is true, but it sounds like this is the kinder, gentler Taliban. I don't know. They're saying that the Taliban's going to be nicer.
Okay, so the goats are safe, but I'm worried about the women.
So am I.
I like how you're shaking your head. You don't even. I really need to learn to talk with my other hand. But I like how you're shaking your head, little bird. I like how you're shaking your head because it took you a second on that one.
Well, he said he likes animals better than people, so he's probably happy about the goats.
Yeah, the goats are safe, but the women. But no, that's where one of our interpreters, his wife and daughter, were still over there during the fall of Kabul. It's no longer the war in Afghanistan. This is now the fall of Kabul. This is like the fall of Saigon. All over it. Except everybody is saying this is worse.
Yeah.
Everybody who lived through it is saying this is worse.
And I've heard people talk about Japan and Germany. We're still there.
Yeah,
we don't know.
Like Hiroshima worse than Hiroshima.
Look, out of the two wars, like, and take this from your non-military perspective, right? So that would let you put yourself in the position, mindset of a president who's never served, listening to military advisors. Okay, weigh this one. We still have people in Iraq. The one everybody complains is the war for the oil and whatnot. Afghanistan, everybody's going, well, they've got a lot of minerals. Yeah, but we never touched them for 20 years.
Yeah.
So obviously that wasn't a war for, the conspiracy theorist war of mineral rights and the drugs. And we burned everybody. You listen to Joe Rogan, and I know he's gotten on your nerves lately, but you listen to Joe Rogan, and it's all, the soldiers were guarding the poppy. You listen to some of it, it's like, hey, watch this one. Little Jason, how much poppy did you burn over there? We burned fields of poppy. We didn't just guard fields of poppy. Yeah. We burned it. We destroyed the shit. It's just not safe to burn it all at once.
Yeah, I imagine that would not be a...
You overdose from the smoke.
Yeah.
There's a smirk on his face because they literally, I remember the story, he was out there helping eliminate some of this shit, and it was, don't take and break, let the mask, you seal on your mask break. If it does, run like hell. And he's like, I wonder. It pukes all up inside his mask.
So what do you guys know about the economy of Afghanistan? Is poppy, like opiates, is that their main export?
Absolutely, yeah.
Because they basically feed the world, right?
Yeah.
Afghanistan, a lot of the Middle East, like that's their main export is poppy and opium.
Poppies and marijuana.
I guess the only reference I have to that is Super Troopers.
Hindu Kush, Hindu Kush is. The Hindu Kush Mountains is in Afghanistan.
The Kush, you say mounds?
Yes.
Yeah, okay. Hindu Kush Mountains. That's your Afghan Kush that you heard about all through the movies and everything. That's really like just was California wild.
It's not my world, so I don't know a ton about it. But
it was.
I've heard of it, but I didn't know that was. I didn't know pot was as big.
We have giant ass snakes that try to kill you.
Yeah.
I saw a dragon over there once.
A dragon?
Yeah. Actually, now I have somebody who's here for some of my stories. The other Zach's been around for some of my stories.
All right. Was this while you were burning a poppy field that you saw a dragon?
No. I was on guard duty. And we're sitting there and we're waiting for the Afghan, because we'd escort duty. We'd escort them on because they did work on our bases. Even a small little outpost, they do work, and they got to be, certain ones have to be escorted because their security clearance doesn't trust them to be
fix the toilets on their own.
Right. Well, you don't want them wandering. They might accidentally wander where they don't belong. The security on them says they're safe to work with us, but not necessarily safe for unsupervised work, right? So, be it how you want. The comparisons could be abroad here. But I'm sitting down there waiting for them to come back from their lunch break, and we're down by this burn pit. And these are one of the things that has destroyed my lungs. It would be this burn pit, which sits next to the incinerator we use, because you can't use a burn pit. You have to use incinerators come a certain time frame. Well, the incinerators you can never get parts for, so you turned it into a giant burn barrel. Thus, it's still a burn pit, but it's an incinerator. It's not a burn pit, we promise. And that's what we would tell Congress and everything is, well, we got incinerators over there, but not telling Congress we can't get the parts, so the troops are having to destroy this garbage however they still can, and that's by horribly having Afghans help with the trash disposal, because that's what they got paid through our contractors to do, like KBR.
So they would manage the burn pits, essentially? Just
Yeah,
make
that was
sure
one
the
of the
fire
things
doesn't get out of control and add more things to the fire.
Yeah.
Okay.
That way we could focus on war. They were like your garbage company that comes in and picks up your garbage and takes it to landfill. Except the landfill's on your base and it's burned. But anyway, so I'm sitting by this big pit, right? And there's all this remnants of like vehicle wreckage and things that have been shoved down there. And I swear to God, this super fucking lizard comes crawling across this burn pit down into this garbage and back out. Like, I'm not joking at all. And I know Barton's seen this freaking lizard. Well, our first sergeant comes walking up. He's like, "Yeah, soldiers, how's it going?" Yo, whatever, with his Latin accent. I'm not even gonna pretend to do a Latin accent, right? And he's like, "How's it going?" I said, "First time, I just saw this giant fucking lizard in this burn pit, and I don't even know what to think right now." And he goes, "Was it a fucking dragon?" I was like, "Yes, first sergeant, it was a motherfucking dragon. I swear to God, this was a fucking dragon, wings and fucking all." He goes, "Then shoot that bitch." I was like, "That's permission if I've ever fucking heard it." Never saw that dragon again, so I know it's a dragon because it understood English to know to stay the fuck gone.
Interesting.
Yeah, it had Benedict Cumberbatch's voice and everything. Like, it was just fucking horrible.
You know, I'm a lot more open-minded to stuff like that these days. I mean, you were there, I wasn't, but Loch Ness, aliens, those kind of things. You know, when I was younger, that stuff like terrified me because it very much, went against my worldview of Christian conservatism, and just much more open-minded with the idea that, hey, there may be things that we don't know about.
Right.
The Earth is a big place. The universe is a lot bigger.
Well, and then look, the freaking DOD's releasing all this footage of
All the UFOs.
But here's the thing. UFO, all it means is unidentified flying object. It doesn't mean extraterrestrial object.
Neil deGrasse Tyson, and I'm going to butcher the quote, and I should go look it up, but it's essentially saying, like, just because you don't know what it is doesn't mean you know what it is. Essentially saying that just because it's a UFO doesn't necessarily mean it's alien. Now, it could, but it doesn't necessarily mean it's alien.
I'm going to beg to differ because Neil deGrasse Tyson is wrong about one thing. It's terms we stopped using a long time ago, and that's illegal aliens. Anybody who's not part of your country is an alien. So if you're not a U.S. citizen, you are an alien, either legal or illegal. So if it's not American, it's alien.
I suppose that's true.
So fuck you, Neil deGrasse Tyson.
I don't know. He makes me interested in things that I would otherwise never be interested in. So I guess there's that.
No, he's a weirdo who won't put a case on his phone because, well, they designed it to look so good, and you buy it because of all the design. No, I don't buy it for the design. I buy it for the functionality of the actual software.
You just told me how much you watch Joe Rogan.
Not enough and too much.
But you saw that on Joe Rogan. He's sitting there doing this with his fucking phone, just flipping it around.
But yeah, needless to say, though, my thing is we still have to backtrack this where it was to begin with. We still have troops in Iraq.
Yeah.
Okay, the Iraq war is over.
Yo, I got an echo.
Yeah, I noticed that. The Iraq war is over, and we say it's over.
Do you have like two screens? You have like someone listening? Is your wife listening?
No, that's not from me. I think I don't know. It's a good question. Hold on. I can do this. We can try to see. Do we still have the echo?
Nope.
Hold on. Do we have the echo back?
Yeah.
Yeah, it's something to do on his side. I was going to do you next, so.
Is your microphone right next to your speaker?
His microphone is in his camera, I think.
No.
But it also kind of like shifted down as time's gone on. I see more keyboard than I did originally.
Maybe it's echoing off the keyboard.
It might be. Can you even hear us, little Jason? Or why are you not talking?
Little Jason, you saw the dragon too? You're the one that told him to shoot it?
No. He wasn't a first target. I outranked him. Don't ever mistake that. He was in the Army way longer than me and didn't keep his rank. He made the rank I was at one time. Turns out it's bad to hit your soldier in the back of the head with a bar stool. I will go with and say said soldier deserved it because said soldier hit said soldier's wife first. And he got properly disciplined.
But did you see the dragon too, Little Jay?
Yeah.
He's got a mouthful of food. I saw that dragon. He sounds like he belongs on the Joe Rogan Experience.
Right? No. I'm trying to eat right now. But yeah, definitely a dragon. The dragon was real. I don't care what anyone says.
Saw what you saw.
I've actually seen. We swore to God it was Godzilla in California too. So they got some giant lizards out in Death Valley. They got some big ass fucking lizards.
World's a big place. Universe is bigger.
Well, I mean, just stop and think. How long have they been unfucked with? And it's on a military reservation because it's National Training Center. So they're not allowed to be fucked with. They literally have standing orders. Do not fuck with the wildlife. Like, you don't even get caught fucking with the wildlife. So, in doing that, they get to be bigger because a lot of lizards don't die unless they just, get ill.
Yeah.
Look at these 1,000-year-old tortoises.
Yeah, didn't Steve Irwin own Charles Darwin's turtle or tortoise?
It's possible. I don't know.
I think his kids still have it.
Yeah, I know they got a lot of shit.
They got a TV show now.
Do they have a TV show now?
Yeah, I think it's on Discovery Plus. I think it's called Irwin Kids or something.
Right.
Man, I was watching a Sasquatch show on Discovery Plus, like Hunting Bigfoot or something. And this guy, they're in Washington State, and the guy's at a gas station, and they're filming. And this other guy comes up. He goes, "Hey, I don't know. I was in the Air Force, and I was out here for training or something." And I forget what he said, but they're just at a gas pump, and they're just talking to each other. And he goes, "My commanding officer came up to me and said, I don't know what you guys think about Bigfoot, but they're real and they're out here." And so, standing order is don't engage because they will try to kill you.
I want to say that's a fuck with a new guy thing, but
well, it wasn't even anybody in the military. It was just some guy at the gas pump who said he was in the Air Force talking to the guy making the show.
Right. Well, I'm gonna go grab myself a drink. While we're on that subject, just for the humor of it, Jason and I had the same squad leader at one point. He's popped in the chat one time on this show, but but he used to go on and on and on about zombies, UFOs. Swore to God he was seeing them, freaking having these experiences in Afghanistan. But he also had an alcohol problem, detoxing. What
do you think, Jay? Think there's Sasquatches out there?
Mm-hmm.
No.
Mm-hmm.
What do you think people think they see when they think they see a Sasquatch? Just another person?
I've been out in the woods. I've been out. Been all over the United States and all over the world. A lot of times people see, like, you'll see movement outside of, you will see movement in the dark. There's nothing there and you'll see movement.
Yeah.
Do I think there's Sasquatch? Yeah, sure. Probably. But I don't think it's the way people all the time see it.
I gotcha. Yeah, sometimes they mistake it for something else. And
No, I mean they're seeing movement. They're seeing we went up to Alaska and somebody thought they saw a Sasquatch and it ended up being a timber wolf.
interesting. It seems like it would be difficult to confuse a wolf with a Sasquatch, but
Yeah.
you know,
Yeah, but if I'm facing this way and I see something out of my peripheral,
yeah. I mean, if you look
Like
straight
timber-
on it, you're like, that's absolutely a Sasquatch. And it turns
full
out it's a wolf.
full size timber wolves are massive. So,
Yeah.
I mean,
Like werewolf size.
they make my dogs look tiny. Like
Yeah.
it would make my blue heeler look like a chihuahua.
Yeah.
No. They did it in 10 hours? Holy shit.
Dude, what?
Bro, they did it in 10 hours? They captured Afghanistan in 10 hours?
Not the whole country.
No,
Look,
Kabul.
of course,
He's talking
like-
Kabul. Kabul, Kabul was the hub for the whole thing. Like it didn't matter if you got
Yeah.
every province around. Once you got Kabul, you own Afghanistan.
Oh, yeah.
10
So,
hours?
Yeah, they had the fall of Kabul was 10 hours.
God damn, man.
See, here's my thing, right? If I was in charge, right, of this, like the clusterfuck has already happened. We're pulled out. I got it. Yeah, we're at that point. We can't start another endless war. But by God, I'd be dropping in the 82nd right into Bagram Air Base, and we would have that whole airfield again. We would take that back to the Taliban, and then you can set up.
Or anything?
You can then set up. One, you've got multiple airstrips that can handle any size plane, as well as the sheer fact that you can actually have a secure area that can prevent any sort of attacks that come against it, and then safe zones to process people through, so you know that they're actually legitimate people. But I feel like the big problem is Biden is so dead set on this. We have to be done before September 1st.
Yeah.
That because of that, he won't hear wisdom otherwise. What was it? I can't remember who I was listening to, but they said that the prevailing guidance is always. It might have been Newt Gingrich. Prevailing guidance is never be left of France. Like if France is here, don't be more liberal than France. That's usually like if you're not as more liberal than France, you're usually good. You go too far left of France, you're probably in for hurt. The French are sending their special forces out to get people that are important to them and bring them in to get them on flights. We're not sending anybody outside the freaking perimeter as the U.S. We've got more people out there, but we're not sending them. The British and the French are sending special forces teams out to get people and bring them back into safety. We're not. We've got 7,000 people there. And we're not doing a damn thing to go get somebody.
How many Afghan military have died in the last couple weeks? Just I wonder, like, because everyone they didn't do anything. Some people are like they just laid down their arms. But then I saw another report where it was like 65,000 Afghan soldiers have died, and I'm like, well, that seems high.
So
I don't know what the actual truth is over there.
In the last 18 months, the Americans have lost nobody.
Right.
In the entirety of the war, we've lost, 3,000 people in Afghanistan? Like casualties, not injuries, but like actual losses. The Afghans have lost over 70,000.
Yeah.
They've putting their lives on the line. It's not like we're the only ones giving up our lives for their country. But the problem is, I don't know if you listened to it. I sent you a video with Ben Shapiro, and take whether you like him aside or not, laid out just the facts when they were just coming out and laid them out in order, right? The thing being, we train the Afghans how to fight, right? We taught them to fight the way we do, not the way every other country does, but the way we do. So it's using intel, air support, everything else. Biden right there at the end cut out the ability for any contractors to go over and help fix any of the aircraft. Like when we pulled out, he said nobody's allowed to help them. They were Zoom calling, just like we're doing this web show. Nobody's in the same location. Zoom calling repairs on helicopters and planes.
Wow. Yeah.
So this is literally like, it's not that they just cut tail. I got in a big fight with somebody over the week because they tried saying, oh, they're all cowards. It's like, you were a Navy guy. You're a squid from fucking the Gulf War, like the initial Iraq 90s war. Fuck off. Like, that's Iraq. This is Afghanistan. They're not the same people. Fuck you.
Yeah.
And you were in the Navy, so till you go get shot at, that, like, let's not even talk. All right? He was a reservist, by the way. So, like, it wasn't even, like, full-time Navy. It was part-time Navy. I ripped into him. My wife's been dealing with the last week that I just haven't been right. Like, this is messed with me. This is messed with my life. And it's because the same thing that all the Vietnam veterans felt, where it's like, you got some people looking. Biden, his speech his first speech on Monday or whatever, literally said, "We appreciate everything the soldiers have done. You sacrificed, to us, our veterans." And then looks and says, "Didn't matter if it was 5 years ago or 15 years from now. It didn't matter. It was never going to matter." So you're saying I didn't make a difference? Fuck you. You're saying there's no purpose to it?
About, like, how it was
Fuck you.
Though? Wasn't he talking more like,
He's
there
been
was never
against
going to be a good exit?
No, he said there was never a purpose. You listen to his first speech, he said there was never a purpose. Besides getting Al-Qaeda and Bin Laden, there was no other purpose to this war. His first speech, where he took no questions, was asinine.
So
He said they should have pulled him right then and there. Whoever wrote his speech for him was a jackass.
when you guys were there, what was the mission? What was the mission?
Depending on who you were.
In 2011, Osama bin Laden was killed. So you guys were there. I'm sure you were there before that, but like after that, what was your mission? What was the stated purpose?
Okay, so we were there 0809. Our unit was landowners. So by that meant we were the unit that controlled a certain area, right? Certain province or however you want to look at it. And with that, we were military police in an infantry brigade. They don't know how to use one platoon of MPs any differently than they know how to use infantry. So the infantry brigade used us like you do infantry. And they go, man, you guys have some skills, so we'll use those skills with this. So we'd use one squad, because this is typical of MP function. We'll use one squad to do what a platoon of infantry would do. So to give you numbers, a squad's 12 people. A platoon is 40. 41 with the lieutenant, 42 with the platoon sergeant. So, because 12 times 3, in MP world, we do 3 12-man squads. In infantry, they do 4 squads. They're fucking weirdos. Just that you hand them heavy weapons and just they're happy. All right, just let infantry guys shoot bullets at something and they're happy. They don't ask them why they do what they do. Okay, they'll get it done. But yeah, they infantry will take more people out to do the job than what MPs will, because the infantry are they're still taught in that old school way, which does work. And that old school way that does work is to the more firepower I have, the more likely I am to be victorious. I mean, there's nothing wrong with that theory. It makes sense. I mean, that's also what they were trying to say with the Taliban currently versus the Afghan army. When you listen to Biden, there's 300,000 of them. How could they not take on 70,000? Sometimes small numbers get by quicker. Sometimes small numbers get by better. You just never know.
Yeah.
So a lot of our mission, though, as MPs, was also to work with the Afghan police officers. So we would train the Afghan police officers how to be police officers. Now, this does not teach them to be police officers like you would have here, right? And this is their national police officers. Like everything they want to do here in the U.S. of national police, we did in Afghanistan. All right. If they want to say Afghanistan didn't work, they need to stop trying to take some of those policies and make them work here then. That's all I got to say. It either worked or it didn't. You can't have it both ways. But, so we'd go through and we'd train these Afghan police officers. In doing so, like their police officers are rolling around in quad cab, short bed Ford Rangers. You can't get those things here, right? They're amazing trucks.
Mm-hmm.
You see them like Australia, Africa, things like that. We would
Quad cab Ford Ranger.
Yeah. If you just look the green pickup trucks that you see the Afghan that go driving through right now in the videos, that was the Afghan police trucks.
I see. Okay.
The Taliban's taking them now, but that was what
they call those the crew cabs.
Yeah.
Where they've got the half door for the back seat.
Yeah.
For the Ford Rangers that we have now.
Yeah, except that what they get over there, we don't get. We just don't sell them. There's not the market there here, so they never offered them.
Because you'd buy an F-150 if you wanted to afford
that, and the emissions things. They don't have to do as much emission control as what we have to, and things like that. But so we would train the Afghan police who are rolling around with AK-47s, freaking vests on, carrying equipment, ammunition, freaking RPGs, machine guns. Like, this is their police.
Yeah.
Okay? If you saw a police officer drive by your house like that, you'd shit your pants. You'd be up in fucking arms. You'd be like, the fuck the police need all this over there? We give them Humvees. So our job was to teach them how to be police officers in austere conditions. As well as, hold on, I got to deal with some dogs. I'm trying to wrestle right in the middle of the living room, and everybody's yelling at them, and they're just like, oh, I'll keep doing what I'm doing because I'm dog.
Yeah.
You know. But, so, yeah, needless to say, that was a lot of what that one was. We do a quick reaction force. We had other missions we'd run. Go out to refugee villages to help out people out there even. Because they have refugee villages in Afghanistan. Explain that one.
Refugee villages actually in Afghanistan?
Yeah. They did. Well, they did.
Not like Taliban refugees hiding from, trying to get away from the Taliban?
No. Like tent city refugees.
You mean like our homeless problem in California? You have that is that what you mean?
They're quite similar. If you look, who is it? It's Angelina Jolie, right? The one that's always going out doing fucking refugee shit, right?
I think so, and adopting all the kids.
So, hold on, I'll look that up. Give me 1 second. I don't want to speak out of turn. I want to make sure I get it right, even though I'm pretty sure.
Oh.
Yeah, no, you're good. I'm literally
I
looking it
just
up.
saw a breaking news article from the AP. Jesse Jackson and his wife Jacqueline are in the hospital for COVID.
Who?
Jesse Jackson, Reverend Jesse Jackson, and his wife Jacqueline, both been hospitalized for COVID.
That sucks.
Yeah, I mean, regardless of what you think about him, you don't.
I know that's it. I'm like,
you don't want anybody to have to deal with that. But he's got to be pretty old, right? Jesse Jackson's 79.
Hmm?
Oh shit! It's a breakthrough case too. He's vaccinated. Received his first dose in January. Urged others to get the vaccine. His wife's 77, and they're both in the hospital. Damn.
Yep. Okay. So I was right, 100% right. This was at the end of 2008. Angelina Jolie. His recent trip to Afghanistan, the end of 2008. Blah 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 blah. Okay. Yep. Tomb Raider. Yep. Okay. I am thinking the exact right person. Right here. whatever bullshit she said, after spending part of her time in eastern Afghanistan's Nangarhar province, where almost 850,000 or 20% of all Afghani returnees have repatriated since 2002. So it's people trying to get back to Afghanistan, right? But now they have no place because of the Russian war and everything.
So there are people who wait because of the Russian war. You're not talking about people who were originally displaced when we went there in 2001.
We're talking people who originally displaced. We go in, and then they become refugees back to their own countries.
Okay, so they had left. We went in.
Right.
Then they started like, okay, if the U.S. is there, then we can start moving ourselves back there.
Right.
Gotcha.
This damn bird he wants to hear himself talk right now. He's mad because I'm talking. I don't know if you can hear him.
You say a bird?
Yeah, the bird in the house. You can't hear him? Okay. Anyways, so this bitch comes to freaking Afghanistan. To the refugee village in our province. Never swings by to say hi to any fucking U.S. soldiers that are there fighting for her freaking freedom. To go into that country. Because she wouldn't have been doing it when the Taliban was in charge.
Yeah, I would imagine. Seems like it'd be pretty dangerous.
Yeah, she went in. She had her own private security. Never swung through. Like, we didn't even know she was there until we read it in fucking People magazine.
Tell you what?
Until we read it in, like, People magazine.
So you read it in the magazine?
Yeah, I think it was People. Like, honest God, People magazine. Like the brand.
Didn't South Park do something funny like that? Something about, I think it was Stevie Nicks. They thought the goat was Stevie Nicks, and the kids and the goat all went to Afghanistan.
Yeah.
How did Jason get to the bottom?
He's stepped out, so I just moved you to the top. I'm not sure where he's at, what he's doing. But the other thing is where he was sitting, I should have done it a long time ago because it puts his head where that big black spot on my computer screen is. Puts his head where I can still see him, but you're at the bottom of the screen, right where the black is on the monitor.
Black screen? What, you got dead pixels?
Yeah, a nice dead spot across the screen.
Nice.
Yeah, the dog stepped on my wife's laptop. And I still haven't been able to set up my office because we have to add on to the house.
Oh, okay. You know, I just picked up one on Amazon for like $200 a Lenovo. I was really surprised how well it worked.
Well, we just got her this computer. That's the problem. Like, it's not that old, but it's $98 to replace the screen. It's like, well, we have other laptops, but not all of them have the camera built in. It's like everything's saved on this computer. So,
yeah. I needed a new one because we bought this HP a while ago, and it was just terrible. Do you mind muting him while he's away?
Oh, can you still get echo?
Yeah, just getting that echo. He's not even here.
Yeah. Yeah, he stepped out. I don't know if it just got out now. Of course, as we say that.
He comes right back.
Yeah, he comes back right back. Now, hold on. I'm going to ask my wife to silence this bird, which means I'm going to get up and I'm going to. Oh, no. She tapped on the bottom of the cage. It like fluttered to the top, like "fuck you, lady." Down at her, like what the fuck are you doing? Like the floor is echoing. The bird thought it was in Haiti or something at this point.
Hurricanes.
No, this is the bird that stuck around the longest. So don't mistake that. This bird's good for it.
Yeah, when we were kids, my brother always had birds, and they kept dying.
Yeah.
Just very temperamental to the inside conditions.
Yeah, if you wouldn't give it rice because you were being mean to the birds.
Oh, Ron wasn't giving the birds rice.
No, you. If you hadn't been giving his birds rice.
So, my fear of birds aside, I did not poison or try to kill his birds. My irrational fear of birds.
See, we'll see what kind of reaction we get here now that Jason's back. Jason, Angelina Jolie. What's your feelings on her?
Hot or not hot? Oh wait, that's
No.
Hillary Swank.
Yeah. You see the look on his face because he's just like he's looking, going, she's the one, right? You see it in the eyes. It's like she's the one, right? What was it? Was it Kristen Bell? No. Which one is it they were comparing to? Was it Kristen Bell that they were comparing as like the Jodie Foster of the Afghan War?
Yeah.
I can't remember if it was her or not. Yeah, they were saying.
No, it was it was Jodie Foster of the Afghan War.
Yeah, Kristen Bell, right?
Yeah.
Yeah. If only Anna would have just gone away, she would have been fine. Go away, Anna.
Just letting the dog in.
No, you're good. But no. So here's what I really want to discuss. All right, okay. This got to me today. Okay. This one hurt me deep, and this like there's humor to this, but there's not. The humor's about to come because I'm probably gonna make Jason wake up for a change. Okay. We went to the movies today, and this one scarred me for life. Okay, we went and watched Paw Patrol the movie, and I am now scarred for life from this film. No movie, kids movie, that's about freaking save the day puppies should be targeting like they're hitting topics like PTSD, abandonment issues, fucking everything else in this fucking movie, and I'm sitting here like. This poor dog. By the way, spoilers for those of you around that like on the YouTube side, but the YouTube I don't care. This one hurt me deep. This dog is facing abandonment issues, and like it targeted like 100%. Like it hit home because when I was in my second deployment and I got blown up the last time, Barton was there for it, and our squad leader who. There's you either you get along with people and you don't, but you can work with people and there's a level of respect while you're working with each other, right? He sat down in my room and he's just like, Jaggers, you need to go to Salerno, and I was like, no, I'm good. He's like, no, yeah, look, dude, you need to go see behavioral health. Like, I'm asking this like a question, so you choose to go, so this doesn't hurt as bad. Like, that's the gist of what he's doing. He's trying to get me to come to this self-realization that my head wasn't screwed on right anymore. It was out of my control. But it was like you need to go see behavioral health, and that started the slow roll of the end of my career. And it was like this. Hey, you need to just step away. I need you to step away from this. Not saying you won't come back, but just step away because you're a detriment by you not even realizing when you take that split second too long to do something, outside the wire, on mission, right? And you're taking even a split second too long to do your job. That's a danger to everybody else too. And he gave it like a week of this shit before he said anything. He's like observing, like, okay, maybe this is just today, and it's like no. And they did this in this movie. The dog starts freezing up on mission. Right? They're trying to save people's lives, and this dog's freezing up because of his trauma from his past. So he got looked at by I don't know if you've seen Paw Patrol. I'm sure Jason has seen Paw Patrol more times than he wants to have seen Paw Patrol.
My niece and nephew are fans.
Okay. So this is little puppy Chase. Like they put some money in this movie, by the way. They show little baby puppy Chase, like this abandonment trauma of just apparently he was dumped off in the middle of the city, like New York City style city, just shoved out the side of a pickup truck, and that's how Ryder found him. And so, anyways, Ryder's got to like pull him to the side as he starts freezing up, and he's like, "Hey, just I'm pulling you off right now. It's fine. Just go relax. Like go do what you need to do. Get your head on right." And he does exactly the puppy does exactly what I to a degree at the time wished I could have done, but my squad leader was smarter. He didn't have the conversation on the street with me. He had it in a room where I had nowhere to run. This puppy goes tearing off through the streets of like the city, but my squad leader, he did it smart. He cornered me in my own room and it's like, "Hey buddy, let's sit down and have a talk." And I'm like, "What the fuck are you talking to me right now?" But that hit home, especially with everything going on right now. Like I tried to take Monday off of work, and they're like, "I'm really sorry, we really can't afford to have another person off." And I was like, "You know what? I'm not gonna fuck you guys. I'm just not. I could call in. I'm just not gonna fuck them." And I could have killed two birds with one stone. It's like, I could, try to make a positive out of taking that day off and taking a time to myself and reflect, and take my daughter to her first day of school for the school year. Not school ever, but like school for the school year. And it's like, no, that's not gonna happen. So I could do the fucked up thing and call in, but the only time I've ever called in ever was when I had COVID, and I called the COO of the company, the vice president of the company, to call in, because I was like, I don't know how to call in, sir. Like, I've got your phone number, but I've never called in before. And he's like, well, I'm glad you called me because we got paperwork we need to do so we can make sure you get paid. It's like, okay, good. But yeah, I'm not going to do that. I'm not going to fuck the company because they've taken care of me at like every VA appointment I need. They make sure I get there. But yeah, like I've even needed that time off from this. And so with everything now, watching this Paw Patrol movie, that fucking hit home. I was like, what the fuck? Like, don't make kids movies that actually give me feelings. Like, make my kids feel shit, sure. Don't affect my life, you fuckers. So, it's like, I'll admit, I'm sitting there, I'm watching this film, and I was like, I'm going to have to bring this up on the show. I'm going to have to. But I was also like, I kind of feel like Kevin Smith right now. Like, if I bring this up, and I was like, that movie, it made me cry. It's like, Kevin Smith, every movie makes you cry. Okay? I'm sick of hearing you tell me the Star Wars movie made me cry. It brought a tear to my eye, and taking your, like, Instagram picture of you crying. Like, I love your work, even though apparently this new Masters of the Universe is to be avoided. Beyond that...
I was just looking forward to Clerks 3.
Yeah, they're working on it. I'd like to know how it turns out. All I can think is
Cory Booker's girlfriend's coming back.
Oh my god, you still can't top Clerks 1. I'm just saying, Clerks 1 is just. But then again, I've got the Jay and Silent Bob reboot sitting at my house. My wife got it for me for Christmas a few years ago. I haven't had a chance to watch it because we haven't not had a kid awake when parents are awake at all since I've gotten this movie, since it came out even. Like, it was free on Amazon even. And it's like, we should watch this. Never mind. I'm not watching this with a 4-year-old. Now she's 5. It's like even more alert of the movie. No, I'm good. That's why I've never seen more than 4 seasons of Game of Thrones. The Tudors became very iffy watching with her.
Not gonna be able to watch that new season of Dexter.
I don't watch Dexter. Dexter didn't have me.
Oh, you gotta try it again.
Yeah, you see how fast his head just snapped up. He's like, I've been getting bored with this conversation. I've skipped kids shows. I got 4 of them in the house. I don't even want to talk about it. Like, yeah, they suckered you. That was on Paramount Plus. They took you to the theater. Ha ha, sucker.
Little Jay, I have to ask you, is that a Dexter box on your shelf right there? Looks like a Dexter box. The wood box with the little gold clasps.
I'm a huge Dexter fan.
No, nobody can hear you, dude. Nobody can hear you.
What?
Yeah, there you go. Hey, welcome to the conversation.
That Dexter box on your shelf back there. It looks like a Dexter box.
Yeah, right here?
Is that a Dexter box?
Yeah.
Yes!
Yeah. Hey, Drunky, welcome to the conversation. You've been back there, like, falling asleep. Like, I'm sitting there like, come on, dude.
Man. I'm out. Out.
All right, well, get you another one and come back and talk about Dexter. We got to talk about this new season. New blood.
New season? I don't know about that.
Okay, so
Dexter New Blood.
No, here's my fear, right? Did you like the TV show Leverage?
I haven't seen it.
Yes.
Leverage was good, right? Harrison,
Absolutely,
hilarious.
yeah.
Harrison's like, it's Barton or Hardison for that one. Hardison. My wife's over getting pissed. She's like, you said his name wrong. Like, I'm gonna murder you from across the room. Yeah, Christian Kane, cool as shit, right? But Hardison, right? That's like the black version of Jason. Like you play with like computer guru, everything. Just they made him cooler than what Jason is. Sorry, it's true. But a great show. The new season, they brought it back after it ended. The main character, Tom, whatever his name was, Timothy Hutton or whatever. He's got some like sexual harassment things going on. Yeah, Me Too shit. So they killed off his character for this new reboot, and we watched like 2 episodes of it. We're like, this is garbage.
No.
So you know what? Because of what they did to my leverage, I hope they do that to your Dexter too.
Man, don't mess with me.
I hope
Don't
they
mess with
Doctor
me,
Who
Dexter.
13th Doctor your Dexter.
Oh no! How dare
That's
you?
not cool. Don't wish that on nobody.
I hope they Batwoman your fucking Dexter. Dexter's gonna be a homosexual by the end of the new season. I guarantee it.
6 feet
I
under.
mean, might be, man, but
6 feet under.
13 doctors. That's going a little too far.
What's that guy's? The guy's Clancy Brown. He's gonna be like the main antagonist in this new series. That should be pretty good.
I think my wife's crying right now because the Doctor Who reference. She's like, I want my real doctors back. Don't wish that on anyone. Have you seen any of that? Okay, I gotta ask. Have you seen any of the Doctor Who 13th Doctor?
No,
Yeah.
Last time I was, oh God, what was his name? Not after Peter. Oh fuck! Hold on. Not Cumberbatch, but the guy after him.
So okay. 13th Doctor. They turned the Doctor into a woman, right?
Oh God.
I'm fine with it if you can make it fit the storyline. Like, if it benefits the story, do whatever you have to do, as long as it can benefit the story, right? That's just screenwriting 101, right? I went to film school. I can tell you. Don't piss off your audience in screenwriting 1.
You
Screenwriting 2.
Take that into consideration.
Yeah. Screenwriting 2 is, don't be doing that much weed when you're writing a script. I got it. Most of your screenwriters are doing a bunch of weed, but there is such a thing as too much, okay? A little too much. They went too far because I think they mixed some Afghan heroin in with their marijuana they were smoking for their screenwriting.
Afghan poppy and some Afghan marijuana.
Yeah, that's called black heroin.
I didn't know. So
don't touch it. It's bad for you.
So they did Peter Dodash as. Oh my God!
Are you
No.
following him right now?
I don't know who Peter Dodash is. What's he talking about? Is he still talking about Doctor Who?
Hold on.
Yeah. Anyways, so I'll talk to you while he's disappeared doing something. So the trick being with the 13th Doctor, Chris Chernball took over the writing of it. He brought with him Jodie Forrester, something like that.
Yes. No,
brought her
man.
with
What
him.
is this?
They did what they did. I think he's never looked at it until right now. He's about to vomit in his mouth.
So I never really got into Doctor Who, and I have to tell you, it was probably because of Casey.
Hold on, what?
Like, Casey was way too into Doctor Who. It just kind of turned me off. I've seen the old British ones because my mom used to watch them.
They're all
Like
British.
1 through 6, right?
I mean, like the old ones from like the.
Okay, I was gonna say I see the old British one. There's never been an American Doctor Who.
Okay, my bad. I don't know. I thought the new ones were American made.
No. The only thing was the Americans were smart and they're like, Christopher Eccleston, you should come do this movie with us now that you've done the Doctor Who thing. And he's like, you pay me money? They go, yes, we will. He goes, G.I. Joe, here we come. Now
Sounds
he's
like
the
the entire plot. Sounds like the entire plot of a show called Episodes, where this British couple who make a very hit TV show in Britain, come over to the United States, and we totally just
Rip it
destroy
off?
it. And they put
The Office?
Joey in charge. They make Joey the main character. I mean, The Office is another fairly good, but the show episode is about making this TV
You have to
show.
get coupling. You're thinking of coupling.
Coupling.
He's saying that's the name of the show.
No, there's another show just called Episodes, and
No,
Yeah,
talking British.
so that was an offshoot of coupling.
oh, the show was.
Yeah.
Oh, okay, yeah. They get Matt LeBlanc to do the show, and it's
Yes. So
The British-
like 3 or 4 years before that, there was a show called Coupling in Europe, and that was a story that was based upon that.
interesting.
So the story of stealing stories was even stolen.
Yeah.
That's amazing. Almost Human, though, was one of the ones that was better American than it was
Yeah.
Britain.
Yeah, I agree. Yeah,
But,
there's almost human, European, and
So the British had a show called Broadchurch, which they also did an American version with the same actors. Ironically, David Tennant, right, who was the 10th Doctor. Okay, David Tennant, who you might know from important movies like Harry Potter. Okay, but anyway, so he did Broadchurch. The actress they had who played the police officer would have been a great doctor if you were making a female doctor. Instead, he chose the one actress that he was working with that played the mom of the dead kid. Okay, because Broadchurch is a police investigative story, right? This kid gets murdered. Like, it starts out the kid's already dead. Like, I'm not spoiler alerting. Like, Scene 1, Episode 1, looking down on dead body of little boy. You know, okay, like, I'm not ruining anything. This is the whole premise of the show is investigating. My wife, you ruined the whole movie. She's back there, she's laughing her ass off now. But okay, so he chose that actress who was okay for the role. Hayden Christensen showed more emotion as Anakin Skywalker in Star Wars than this lady showed. That made sense. Like, Anakin made sense because he's supposed to hide his emotion and then explosively express them when it happens, right? So you have Wood-like acting, no emotion, just fiery emotion. He did that better than this lady did in this whole TV show. Okay, they took her and go, hey, got it. We're going to use this lady to play the female doctor, but what I'm going to do, I'm going to be even smarter. He goes, instead of making her the character of the doctor, her own, where there's the memories that come with the previous iterations, but this is the new doctor, the new feel, the new design, the new emotions, the new everything, memories, but new emotions. No, we're not going to do that. We're going to take bits and pieces every episode of every other doctor that there's been for the last fucking how many years, and she's going to express all that randomly and not make that character her own. So she's just randomly mixing back and forth between different iterations of the doctor. That was just piss poor writing. Just piss poor writing altogether. I hope they do that to your Dexter, by the way.
Did they make piss poor writing? Have you seen the last 3 seasons? I'm kidding. I love it all, but went down.
Yeah. I don't know. Everybody's angry about the Game of Thrones season 8. Still never seen it, but everybody's angry about it.
George R. Martin's angry about it. He wrote the damn thing.
It's easy to be angry about something when you go, well, I still have to write my book eventually.
We make all this bad press about the show so people will buy my book.
Yeah. Don't worry, they'll give you the Snyder cut later.
Oh, jeez. I got into the Snyder cut. It was like that, this is the song that never ends kind of thing. I got into the Snyder cut having no idea that it was 4 hours long.
Okay.
I'm like halfway through it and like, what the hell am I watching?
So you watched the Suicide Squad movies, right?
Yeah. I started the first one and I was like, this is really hard to get into.
Okay. The first one you've seen. All right, I have
I've
to
seen
ask.
like half of the first one. We'll say
I have to ask Jason.
Oh, Jason.
He's a big I was asking you, but him I know. I have to ask him the question because he's a big Joker fan as well, right? My wife's big Harley fan. I love the Joker. I like Batman. I love the Flash. I got to ask the big Joker fan here. What's his feelings on Jared Leto? Oh, he's got to leave for a drink. He can't even answer the question yet. Or he's bringing something Joker back. He's probably got a mask, or if he comes out in a costume, I think I might piss myself.
You know, we got into this a little bit the other day on the phone, but I will say I was surprised by the Joaquin Phoenix Joker movie. I liked it more than I thought I would.
I haven't seen it.
Oh, man, I liked it more than I thought.
Joker with Joaquin Phoenix. My wife's like, is Harley in it? No, then I don't care. That's my wife's opinion. She's the Harley fan.
This is my problem, is everybody's got expectations. I have no expectations. I expect everything to suck.
I have the expectation of I expect you to stay true to the character. That's all.
Sure, I don't mind that, you know. But like Star Wars, I go into.
It's a Pops figure. He has to go bring out the Pops figure.
That is the largest Funko Pop I've ever seen in my life.
Yeah, he had to bring the Joker Pops figure. Hold on. I can do this with the headset even. Hold on.
The largest Funko Pop I've ever seen. I own no Funko Pops. I do have a R2-D2 non-Funko Pop.
Jason, Mike, hold on. Okay, this is just my living room.
Nice glockenspiel.
Yeah, there's a cuckoo clock. Hold on, I gotta unplug the power cord. Yeah, the cuckoo clock, right? This is my daughter's Batgirl. Okay, we're touring the house. Right. Okay. Yo, here's the lizards. Okay, and then not to be confused with the fish and the crickets. Yo, we come over here. We got the size of my hand Joker plushie. You bitch, bring out fucking. I've got a plush. Okay. Oh, then we'll come over. You know, get my army wall.
Important.
Rosary that was with me in Afghanistan, actually, when I wasn't Catholic yet. Explain that one. Giant Build-A-Bear freaking Harley Quinn. This is the shit that's not in storage, too. But the dashing of them all. I'm having to replace books because I lost a bunch of them over the years. But I got my Cyber Frog. Warts and all books.
I have no idea what that is.
And my dogs are like, "Oh, can I be on the TV? I want to be on your TV." So bring out your little Pops figure, little Jason. Bring out your Pops figure. And avoiding my question, what's your opinion of Jared Leto as the Joker?
I think that Funko Pop is supposed to be Jared Leto. Am I wrong?
No, this is Heath Ledger.
Oh, okay.
100% Heath Ledger.
I honestly like the Heath Ledger the best, but the problem with that one is best explained by Robert De Niro talking to Ben Stiller in the movie Tropic Thunder. It's very not PC, but in his words, quote unquote, you never go full retard. Unfortunately, Heath Ledger went way down a rabbit hole that he couldn't come back from. You know,
he literally died from it.
He died for that role. I mean, it was beautiful. It was wonderful, but unfortunately, it cost him his life.
So I'm just gonna say, you have to recall at all times, though, the Mobius chair informed us there's 3 Jokers.
I think this is what you were telling me.
The Mobius chair informed Batman that there's 3 Jokers, okay? Which fits in with your Golden Age gangster Joker, your Silver Age comedic Joker, which is more similar to your Cesar Romano and Adam West Batman TV show. And then you've got your Bronze Age Joker, which is more similar to your Mark Hamill portrayal of the Joker in all the animated series. Jared Leto did a good, and Jack Nicholson did an amazing version of your gangster Joker. The difference is Jack Nicholson did that time frames version of a gangster, which is a, driving around in your little freaking hats with your little Tommy gun fucking, gangster. Jared Leto did your I'm tattooed up, I'm a gangbanger, and I'm just going to murder you all. And I'm also crazy because, hey, you like my girl? My girl? You think she's pretty? Hey, come over here, sweetheart. Oh, you touched my girl? Now I'm going to cut your hands off. You know, and you're like, what the fuck is wrong with you? And he's like, oh, you don't think she's pretty? Now I'm going to kill you too. And you're like, so we're selling stuff for you? Like, how do I make money here? You know, and then you've got your Heath Ledger Joker, which would be your Bronze Age Joker, which is the same as Mark Hamill. You're crazy. You're psycho. You're anarchist. You have no plan. And this is why Batman can never make a plan for the Joker. Nobody can ever decide what the Joker's going to do next because he's fucking nuts. He doesn't care. Even when he has a plan, there's no plan. Because there's no true end goal. He doesn't want to end Batman's life because his life is purposeless without Batman. His whole goal in life is just the cat and mouse game with Batman.
Seems like
I'm
a
not
lot of
wrong.
wasted energy.
No, I mean it's a man who literally has nothing left in life because there's the Killing Joke version of the Batman. Or of the Joker, the Killing Joke Joker, that where Batman helped create the Joker, but the Joker was just a guy trying to get by. Like he was actually had a wife, had a kid. Everything should have worked out. He should have been fine. Everything should have been good. He just had to do this one job, and then he went fucking crazy because of it. Which they've hinted towards in the new comics and whatnot that Batman actually knows and is taking care of Joker's family. Like he was like under the assumption his wife lost the baby and everything else, and Bruce Wayne actually took her somewhere else, like in Alaska or some shit, and is actually like paying for her to stay alive with the kid.
What do you guys think about that new Robert Pattinson Batman?
That's a good question. What do you think of a sparkly Batman?
He's more emo than sparkly. Running mascara.
I'm going to do this way because I don't have to worry about seeing my own face. You guys, I'll move you guys to the top like that so I can see you guys and your reactions because I'm missing all. He's slouched down again all of a sudden. Now I can't see him the same. So, he makes a good point. Jason, I'll let you take in on that one. How do you feel about Robert as Bruce?
Robert Patterson is so. How I feel about what was it? True Blood? Not True Blood. What was it?
Twilight.
So Twilight vampire as Batman.
As he's slurring his words from a little too much alcohol and brain damage. I was blown up over 200 times in 3 months. Let me tell you on alcohol what I think of sparkly Batman.
I think it was more the ice house that caused the
Right.
crappy beer leads to.
My daughter's over here like, well, hold on. My daughter literally heard that. She goes, "It's not Twilight, it's Rarity." It's like, it's not My Little Pony we're talking here.
Jason, I have to keep making fun of you because of the beer. And my craft beer wall of fame.
Yeah.
Not to mention a few more over here.
Oh, I tried an IPA and I absolutely did not. It was glass hopper, and that was disgusting. It tasted like I licked the rainforest, and I probably should have just. I probably should have just like. It would have been cheaper to throw. It would have been cheaper to throw lizards into a blender and just drink that because it would have tasted the same.
Oh man, you went too hard, too fast.
No, I saw it and I was like, "Oh,
ease into the flavors."
No, I saw it again. I was like, "Oh,
we'll never forget this Seagram's night, right?
It's supposed to be out of Toledo.
I would drink craft beer out of Toledo personally. No, I'm kidding.
What's up, Jason?
The Seagram's vodka night. We'll never forget that, right?
Oh my God, I don't even know which night he's talking about because I moved down to Texas, right? Okay, Mike, you grew up in the same area I'm at, right? There's literally.
Actually, I grew up in Texas, but I went to high school in Bryan.
Well, but what I mean is into adulthood, right?
Zach, do I tell your fucking dog if I kill her?
So Seagram's vodka, you saw all over the place, right? That was not an uncommon occurrence. Like Seagram's makes vodka.
It's coming.
I go down to Texas. They're like, I'm getting in fights with people. They're like, Seagram's makes gin. They don't make vodka. Seagram's doesn't make vodka. I'm like, I've been drinking Seagram's vodka for years at this point, and I'm only 22, and I've got more vodka knowledge than you have. So shut the fuck up.
Whiskey. What are you talking about?
Yeah, and it's like, so I finally find it down there, and it's 2.75 milliliter bottles of Seagram's vodka. So I start drinking it by the bottle. And then running 6 miles every morning and never getting caught. Never puking. I do not recommend running. If you're running 6 miles, do not run past Popeye's Chicken at 6 o'clock in the morning, whether you're sober or not. Don't fucking do it. It makes.
Oh, this was in Texas. I was gonna say, when did Brian get a Popeyes? And here when I call Zach an alcoholic. Somebody.
Yeah, it's my wife. And she's sitting there with her freaking what's that coconut stupid thing? A pina colada that I fucked up, and I was like, oh, I'll pour my wife a drink, and I licked it, and I'm like, oh god, I forgot there's coconut in this. Oh. But yeah. So needless to say, yeah, I drank a lot back in the day, but Barton and I had an apartment together, so it's his fault.
It's not my fault. You were drinking way before I ever had to do.
He had this flask called embalming fluid, and I still don't know exactly what was in the thing.
No.
Fucking was.
Very well might have been actual formaldehyde. At this point, I do not know.
Pretty sure it was, actually.
You know you have a drinking problem when this would have been 2010, years later, right? I guess not as long later, but years later down the road. We're to the point that it's like we're in a moist county. To start the conversation from earlier, we're in a moist county. We can't go anywhere to buy alcohol because we can't even walk to a gas station. And it's like 1 o'clock in the morning, and we're like, and he's like, Jaggers, didn't you say? I said, yes, I did. And he's like, but aren't you sure? I was like, it's got alcohol in it. And okay, so we take lemon extract. And instead of mixing it in Mountain Dew like we did when I was a kid at the restaurant working, instead of mixing it in your Mountain Dew, we just started doing shots of lemon extract. Horrible idea. I do not recommend ever doing this to anybody. This is atrocious. Don't ever do it. It's 90% alcohol. In fact, vanilla extract, all natural vanilla extract. My wife is like, I really don't drink. It's like, but you put vanilla extract in everything. You know, when I first started dating her, because she's a pastry chef, it's like vanilla extract is touching everything. And it's like, is that going into your Coke over there too? Like, what are we doing here? Like, it's mixing into everything. Her butter probably, if she could figure out how to make it right, she would put vanilla extract in her butter.
What restaurant did you work at?
Well, see, if I said that, I'd dox myself.
We all know where you live.
You do, not the whole rest of the internet.
I'll be back. Hold on.
You notice he never answered the question on how he feels about a sparkly Edward.
About the what?
About Batman.
Pattinson being Batman.
Batman? No, it's horrible, man. Fuck no.
Kitty.
You should be Twilight and Batman mixed together.
What about Ben Affleck?
No.
He was more robot than Batman.
No.
Okay, can I voice here? Let me put in and see if you guys can agree with me here. The problem with the Batman Affleck played, the Bruce Wayne Affleck played, the point he was at in his career where he was like everybody, he was so beaten down, he never would have founded a Justice League. That's two different eras of Batman. Once you hit the Batman who just has given up all hope on humanity and just trying, like that dark Batman you hit, he's not founding the Justice League. That's Bruce Wayne before that. Like, you can't, no, it doesn't make any sense at at all.
Unpopular opinion, I like Christian Bale.
You say you like Christian Bale?
I liked him as Batman.
He wasn't bad as Batman.
A lot of people don't like him as Batman. I liked it.
No, a lot of people don't like the third version of that
Oh, you
movie.
mean the third movie, the last movie?
Yeah, the Bane one. Yeah, that's the one everybody has a big problem with.
Sure. I can get behind that. I enjoyed the first one. The second one, of course, I think is the best of the three. But, the Bane one wasn't great. But I like Christian Bale as Batman. I thought
It's what they did to the characters.
Everybody mocked the voice.
Oh yeah, and everybody always mocks the voice, but really, they're not even trying to make the voice. It's just called putting a really tight latex fucking helmet on, or towel on somebody, and as it pulls on their voice cords, they're like, all right, Batman, all right. It's not because they're like doing it on purpose. It's literally because they're choking to death the whole time they're talking. Let's be real.
Yeah.
But,
I don't know. I liked him. I thought he did okay.
Oh yeah. I thought he did decent for the character grouping. Really, Val Kilmer was a little more eh. You want even more eh? Would have been Clooney. Clooney's Batman was a little more eh too. You're like, not everybody can be as good as your first.
Adam West.
Exactly. Actually, that's what I was going for there.
Ow.
I was completely skipping Keaton there because Keaton doesn't count.
Right. You can't be Batman and Mr. Mom.
Yeah. Oh my god.
And the guy in what's that movie? The Other Guys, where he keeps quoting the TLC. Don't go chasing no scrubs. I don't want no water. Or don't go chasing no waterfalls. I don't want no scrubs.
My daughter's literally trying to go, yeah, here's your kitty, to like everybody with the new kitten. It's like, if you want the kitten, you hold the kitten. Stop. Nobody else wants it right now.
Man, I got an automatic cat box going today. It's the greatest thing in the world. I swear.
An automatic what?
Cat box.
Oh.
Strange conversation for your podcast.
Yeah, right. This podcast covers everything. Like this is not just veterans talking veteran issues, blah blah blah. This is literally everything. Like I advertise
to automatic cat boxes.
Yeah, well, I tell people we talk about everything from fixing our pipes to freaking movies to this to that. Like there's just no end to what we talk about. You never know where it's gonna go.
Have some drinks, you sit down, you talk to people. This place ain't so polarized. It's not as crazy as the media makes it sound.
It's like Joe Rogan, the way Joe Rogan tries to do things, just with no goal in mind. Even he's got a goal when he talks to people.
Right. What's little Jay doing? He looks a little...
I don't know. I think he's flirting with you. I'm not sure. I'm not sure at this point.
Oh, man.
Okay, what about Val Kilmer as Batman?
No. I mean, yeah, no.
Clooney?
No.
Keaton?
Keaton, yes, absolutely.
West?
Michael, no,
Adam
yeah.
West. Adam West.
Adam West, yeah.
I mean, that's your Silver Age Batman even, too, so.
Yeah.
Okay, Christian Bale.
Christian Bale, absolutely, yes.
See?
Christian Bale is Batman.
Mike was literally just saying, though, he's heard several people, at least anecdotally, that he knows don't like that film. Don't like that Batman.
How though?
I don't know. He's the Batman in my adult generation, I guess. We had George Clooney when we were younger.
No, okay, so hold on. So we're saying that George Clooney is a better Batman than...
No, so, okay, here's the thing.
In my lifetime, we've had, George Clooney, we've had...
Kilmer,
and we've had Christian Bale, Ben Affleck, and now Robert Pattinson. I feel like it's going...
up and down. So Jason, the real reason that it's coming to an issue is the same issue everybody complains about with every Batman, except Adam West, actually, because Adam West was so great at being Batman and Bruce Wayne, he never had to change his voice. So the issue is the voice that they use as Batman, and like I told Mike, it's like they're not really changing their voice. They're choking to death with latex wrapped around their throat. I mean, they're not even trying. It's not. This is my Batman
so
voice.
that comes back to the alter ego.
Right.
So they're literally stepping out of
Batman to be Bruce Wayne.
Yeah.
Really,
So
everybody
Bruce
always
Wayne
gets it
and
wrong.
Batman can have the same voice because then you'd be able to walk into Bruce Wayne and go, "Hey, Batman."
Yeah, but it works for Superman. He just needs glasses. I don't know what Batman's problem is.
Yeah.
Superman just goes, I'm Superman. Everybody's like, oh my God, Superman. And you're like, Clark Kent? No, what's hilarious, okay, in the comics, right? Here's one for you.
No, because nobody's ever going to believe that Superman wears glasses.
Right, but no, it gets better because in the comics, in a more recent comic, that they've done is they actually had Bruce Wayne hanging out with Clark Kent, Lois Lane, and Selena Kyle because Bruce Wayne's banging out Catwoman, right? So anyways, we won't even get into King's version, Tom King's comics because he starts out strong and then he just goes full freaking Tropic Thunder. So anyways, but they're there and they go to this park and this theme park and they're like, oh, it's superhero night, right? So because it's superhero night, they're like, oh, hey, you can't come in if you're not in a costume. They're like, really? So they're hanging out and they're normal person and they're like, okay, they come up with this bright idea. Bruce Wayne goes as Superman and freaking Clark Kent goes as Batman. So Batman's running around cowl and all with the Clark Kent glasses on his face through this theme park. And I'm just like, and they like drew them so you can see like the character differences. So you see Batman with the Superman square jaw, but you see Superman with the rounded Bruce Wayne features. Like it was actually, you have to look into that one. That was hilarious. That it's like all it is these glasses.
Let me share this picture real fast. See if it'll come up. Can you guys see the picture?
I can when I put it up.
The share screen.
Yeah, once the internet works. There we go. Come on, internet. There we go. Yeah. Okay. So yeah. Yeah.
No,
I don't.
No.
He's crying.
Look, okay. Everybody gave Tobey Maguire shit for the third Spider-Man movie, and I love the Tobey Maguire Spider-Mans, right? Everybody gave him shit for the third Spider-Man movie. And the big thing was they were like Topher Grace and the emo Spider-Man, the emo Peter Parker, and he's all emoed out, and he's like, you think the dude was drunk, like really, like okay, but that still had a better appearance than this Patterson. Like I could understand the time frame and the era when they did this emo Spider-Man with Tobey Maguire. It was a little I like Tobey Maguire's Spider-Man. That writing, they just shoved too many bad guys into one film. You should have learned from that, but DC never learns from the mistakes of others or themselves. So, DC does the same thing with their movies. Let's shove as many bad guys as we can into Dark Knight Rises. That makes perfect sense. The problem I always had with The Dark Knight was the fact that, yes, they had the Joker, but they had... at the same time, they had Two-Face. And there was no purpose of the two existing at the very same time and then killing off the one. Spoilers.
If you haven't seen Dark Knight at this point...
Dude, you have to get spoiler notifications. Like, when it comes to social media, spoiler notifications for movies that are 30-plus years old.
So if I tell you about Back to the Future right now, because...
If I tell you...
How Marty gets back to the future...
If I tell you...
refrigerator...
Let's put it this way. If I tell you Dorothy lands a house on the Wicked Witch of the West, the people are going to flip shit because I didn't say spoiler warning first.
And do you remember... Did you ever take Inkrot's class?
Yeah.
Did he ever do, like, the movie things with you? And, like
the Star Wars? Dude, I took advanced conservation All right. I actually graduated with five science credits.
I took his class too because I knew it'd be easy because we spent half the
Yeah,
class.
it was not as easy as it should have been. It should not have been. It should have been way easier than it. Yeah. No.
We do like a month looking at like polymers and plastic, and then we'd spend a month watching Star Wars.
Yeah.
Well,
literally.
That's a week watching a Star Wars movie.
No, you want horrible. This jackass, little Jason here, never watched Star Wars till after he met me.
Not a single one. You never saw the old ones? What?
He's like, I'm not watching that Star Wars bullshit, fucking nerd. I'm like, you program computers. You were commo. Like, you're calling me a nerd? Are you serious right now? He's like, yeah, you got glasses, and walks out the fucking room. I was like, the fuck is wrong with you? It's like he's sitting there like, this is a guy who literally like grabs my cell phone, and we're overseas, goes, and I've known this guy for like 2 hours at the time because we almost got in a fight. He almost shot me. I almost stabbed him. This was how we became friends. Was literally we almost killed each other.
It's a classic story.
Yeah, it'd be a great movie. Anyways,
Guy meets guy tries to stab guy, other guy tries to shoot guy. We became friends.
Yeah, because I called him a bitch from moment one. So he's like, I don't know who the fuck you think you are. And he got told, leave that one alone. And everybody's like, why? And it's like, it's not because, you know how it's not because I'm actually fucked up. It's because everybody always looked at me like, you remember Billy Madison when he's like, glad I called that guy. That's how they always looked at me and Barton. And then they're like, the two of them at the same place together. This is even scarier because we don't know what these guys are going to do. And then they found out we became friends and it was even scarier. But we were literally like about to off each other. But he walks up to me and I've got my, you remember when Windows had their version of the BlackBerry, the Windows phone?
Oh, yeah.
Okay. I had one of those, and we're overseas, and my reception's fading out constantly. And he goes, let me see that. I was like, the fuck? And he goes, no, let me see that. And I was like, okay. And he goes, okay, there you go. You should get better reception. Okay. And I kind of did, like, not great reception, but I did get better. And he comes back the next day, and he's like, so it worked for you? And I was like, I still don't know who the fuck you think you are. But I was like, kinda. He goes, well, good. It didn't blow up yet, so it's got to be fine. I was like, the fuck? He's like, yeah, after 24 hours, if it didn't just explode, it's going to stay working, and walks away. I was like, the fuck? And then as he turns back and goes, don't go near any hospitals, though. And then, like, walks off. I was like, the fuck do you just do to this phone? But, yeah, I'm getting some good service, but it's like, the fuck is wrong with this dude? And that led into, over a decade of friendship. Because that was like 2008.
So our backstory is Zach and I were in band together. I think we liked the same girl. He ended up dating her for a little bit. Sorry, Zach's wife.
I don't even know. No, I never actually. Most of the people I dated, I was dumb and married. My wife's met too many of them. And she would wish she had.
Probably this one. And Zach watched me get stuck in a tuba.
That wasn't Fayette. That was that wasn't Fayette. But thank you for not doxing me. That's still too close. Because I have family.
Fayette? What are you talking about?
Yeah. But anyways, no. So
you getting stuck in a tuba?
No, we were both in marching band together. Jason. Marching band. Yes, I know. Band nerds. Yeah.
Okay. I deluded myself into telling that, in Bryan, or wherever we're from, that the cool kids were in band. Because even the football players were in band. They just sat on the sideline because they played football.
Yeah.
We were nerds. Still are.
But yeah, so no. Needless to say, he gets stuck in a sousaphone. He calls it a tuba. It's a sousaphone. We're in marching band together, and he inner tubes this sousaphone over top of himself. And the problem is, somebody looked and goes, "Just pull your arm out." And as the dumb freshman that doesn't know any better, which is not his fault, literally just pulls his arm out. Well, now he's got his arms above this freaking sousaphone.
Okay, that's not what happened.
It's trying to figure out how the fuck to get out of it.
No, so it had slipped down far enough where it was literally pinning me in. I couldn't get out. And a really tall guy, who was the section leader, big tall guy. I mean,
It was Eric, wasn't it?
Yeah, the guy was like 7 feet tall. I mean, at least that's how I remember him. He comes over, he goes, he had these big eyes. You got a problem there, buddy? Yeah, and he just picked it up off of me. No, it wasn't. I couldn't get it out of I couldn't get my arm out.
Like half an hour running around the football field. He's just like freaking out. It was like, in any movie, this would have been funnier. But
some bullshit American Pie. This one time at band camp, the fat kid got stuck in a tuba.
You know what's the worst part of that? There was always this thing growing up that in the band, if you were a senior, you would end up being a squad leader, right? Just always the way it worked. Especially if there's no other seniors besides you. They'd always go, "Oh, we've got 2 squad leaders." Except for when I was a senior.
That happened to me too. The junior was the squad leader, and I was kind of the assistant squad leader. I
wasn't even that. They made Melissa the squad leader, made me not, and made the other squad leader was this freaking kid who was 2 years younger than me.
Oh.
Because he could play better. And it's like, yeah, but he can't march for shit, can he?
Oh, man, I don't know if I was call them good old days, but the old days.
Now I make more money.
What, the kid 2 years younger than you, or just in general?
No, in general. I don't know if I make more money than him. Fuck if I know. I know his family owns fucking farmland fucking galore, so I'm sure even if he doesn't own the money, have the money now, eventually he inherits it. So he's better off than me. I have this rule of thumb. I automatically assume everyone is better off than me, and that I should strive to be better. Right? That's always my go-to. I also assume I'm never going to inherit anything. The third thing, though, is when somebody comes over, I'm hanging out with somebody, I always assume that I make more money than them. For better or worse, because then when it comes time to pay the tab, I'm just going to take the tab. I just assume that I make more money than them. It's just my assumption. Automatically, I make more money than you. You don't get to that tab before I do. I'm going to do it. The other Zach is not on this web show right now, and it's his own fucking fault. But when I went out to Pennsylvania and I visited with him, and we went out to Friendly's, and I was very kind and friendly, and told the waitress to give me the bill when I went up to use the restroom. She came back and handed it to me behind my back, and I paid the bill. And he was mad at me. He's like, I was going to take you out. And I was like, the game's afoot.
The game is afoot.
It's like you not done it. And then we went to this pony land, and I've never seen so much animal abuse in my life. I was terrified.
See, that's like a happy place for children, not an animal abuse facility.
And I'm watching these little miniature ponies like shaking and like trying, like, if this lady comes near me, like they're like, it's every horror you thought that legally could be done. Like you see all the movies and stuff. Like I'm waiting for the "In the Eyes of an Angel" to come out like as this is happening. Like I'm like, am I in an ASPCA commercial right now? I'm not sure what's going on. My daughter got her picture taken with a unicorn.
Was it just a horse with an ice cream cone on?
The lady was rough with my daughter. So if she's rough with a 5-year-old, can you imagine how she is with the ponies behind the scenes?
Yeah.
So needless to say, like I wasn't the only one. The other Zach's like, okay, I'm not the only one. I said, no. And it turns out every adult was like, okay, no, we weren't the only ones seeing this because we all were going, this is animal abuse. What the fuck? So, but he paid for that. So at least I didn't personally fund animal violence.
So at least you got that one.
Right. Yeah, I don't remember now. Yeah, I don't remember now. My wife's going on like, what was this other one? And we don't. It's like I don't recall. I really just don't. But yeah, there was that was leading somewhere too that added to it, and it might have been that child abuse thing. But yeah, it was like it was horrible. I'm sitting there like, what the fuck like, where are we? We went to an elephant museum while we were there, but it's all like these like collectible elephants and shit. Like that was really neat. There's also a candy emporium too. So,
Well, bring your kids down here. Guaranteed Disney won't abuse them, but they'll probably drop subliminal messages in the movies.
Right. No, that I can accept that.
They're probably already being abused by Disney, and they don't even know it.
Yeah. Have you seen Bluey?
I don't even know what that is. That sounds.
Yeah, it's an Australian cartoon about a dog, and then my wife keeps telling me that's a girl. I was like, okay, I don't care. That little fucking dog. It's like, well, my child is obsessed with that. They're redoing, like, Netflix has the My Little Pony movie that's coming out. Yeah. But yeah, Disney. I'd like to go down to Disney. I would. It seems really expensive.
I've been there like 30 times. It's good, man.
Yeah, well, and yet you never pay for me and my family to go, so piss off.
We got those.
I've never, the times I've been, I've never paid to go. I've always had people that work there.
No.
Got the Kylo Ren. He is his grandfather's grandson.
Yeah, we go to Disney like 10 times a year.
Do I have to admit that Kylo Ren even exists? Like, is that a requirement here?
Yeah, pretty much.
Can't they retcon that?
They decided it was.
They acknowledge the Star Trek, non-J.J. Abrams Star Trek, and then yes.
You know, that first J.J. Abrams Star Trek with Chris Pine, I actually enjoyed it. But I feel like the second two, especially the third one, just kind of... The third one, I had a hard time keeping my interest.
Well, the problem with J.J. Abrams, if you notice, it's not starting a show or hitting the middle of a show. It's how do you end a show?
It's the follow-through?
Yeah, J.J. Abrams, like, he starts great. And that's my thing. Like, if it was The Force Awakens, I was like, okay.
Yeah, that was great. I enjoyed The Force Awakens a lot.
Star Wars The Force Awakens. Look, first of all, if I want to sit down and watch episode 4, 5, and 6, I'll sit down and watch episode 4, 5, and fucking 6. Second of all, if I want to watch Star Trek, I'll watch Star Trek. If I want to watch Star Wars, I'll watch Star Wars. Force Awakens, I sat down and I watched Star Trek with Star Wars characters.
Man,
But
I gotta go. I'll be right back.
more beer. Beer.
No, he's got to deal with kids. That's I've got to go put on a dad
No,
hat.
I gotta deal with fucking Giovanna. Giovanna has COVID.
Oh, fun. Stay away from her.
Yeah. I have to
Isolate.
go. Yeah, I have to go give kids food. I'll be right back.
Yeah.
This is the only child I have. I don't know. People call pets their children. Kind of.
Yeah, like, I've heard people use the term fur babies, and I'm kind of like, it really, like, at a certain point, it's like, the people that are doing that are the ones that want to pretend they have kids but don't want kids. Because
My wife joined a club called the Orlando Dog Mom Club. So take that as you will. She wants to put a sticker on the car.
I have kids. Does that count?
There are dogs and there are children. They are separate. Sorry, that's probably an unpopular opinion in certain circles. But
yeah, I've got a damn zoo in my house, okay? Like, I've got
lizards and birds and dogs and a cat. Oh, she heard me say something about the dog club.
No, she threw keys in.
She threw in his collar. Why are you naked, dog? He's not wearing his collar.
Yeah, we've got a parakeet. At one point we had 2, and then we went back to 1, and then we had 2, and something happened, went back down to 1, but it was within like the 2 weeks of purchase issue. So it's like, we're down to 1 lizard now. We've got like 5 fish. We got a couple cats, couple dogs.
Sorry, that's a Big Bang Theory thing.
No, I don't.
It's rock, paper, scissors, lizard, Spock.
See, I stopped watching Big
Lizard,
Bang Theory,
poison, Spock.
so I never had to be disappointed in like it ending.
I don't
found
even
if
know
you
how
don't
you're
watch-
telling me I've seen the end of that show.
I found if you stop watching like a couple seasons before the end of a series, you never get disappointed.
It's
Because
probably
there's
not
always
a
still
bad.
more.
It's not a bad. That's not a bad choice. We were talking about that this morning, and she was like, "Doesn't it have a cockroach?" And I'm like, "What are you talking about, cockroach? It's rock, paper, scissors, lizard, Spock." So we Googled it, and that was actually from that '70s show. And so they threw out rock, paper, scissors, and Hyde and Fez are doing nuclear bomb.
Oh, okay, yeah,
And cockroach.
yeah.
And Fez can't figure out the stupid game.
He couldn't figure it out. Yeah, that was, and they would purposefully help him lose even more.
Yeah.
Like every time.
Yeah. He's like, oh, so cockroach beats everything. And so then Hyde would go, foot, and he'd be cockroach. And foot smashes cock.
Yeah.
Cockroach beats bomb.
You know,
Huh?
so I was delivering a place. I've been there quite a few times. The one kid, he was born in Iraq, in Syria, or Saudi Arabia, right?
Okay.
He ended up, like, his family's from Iraq. He ends up having to move to Saudi Arabia when he's young, come to the States, and they live up there in Detroit, right? Which it sounds like he actually, like, okay, Iraq, Saudi Arabia, Detroit. It sounds like he's going worse instead of trying to, like, improve life. You're just going worse. Like, you end up in Detroit of all places. Like, come on now, what the fuck is wrong with you? So, anyways, so this kid, like, I'm talking to him. He asked me what, truck driving. What's it? How, like, interested in type thing. And I'm like, you're gonna get judged a lot being for it. Yeah, playing on the Fez thing. You're gonna get judged a lot being for it. I said I can't say I haven't done it, but I usually look and go, fucking Canadians. So, but it's like you're gonna get judged a lot just because of that, because you have a lot of Middle Easterners that come in and act like they own the place and act like that and can't speak English, can't read, can't write. That's the issue you end up having.
Yeah.
I have to ask though, while I'm noticing something. You got the Biden-Harris sign up there, but where's the rest of your political signs?
I can't do anything about it. Oh, I've got Penguin Pete for Mr. Buttigieg.
The acting Secretary of Transportation.
Acting? He hasn't been.
I don't know. I don't know
official.
who has been confirmed and who hasn't.
Congress confirmed him, I'm sure. Yeah, so I got. I guess he's Private Pete, since it's private from the. What were those movies? Madagascar movies. He's private.
Right.
So I stuck the Pete button on him. It's actually an Orlando specific Pete button because it's got our downtown has Lake Eola, and that's the fountain in the middle of the lake. So it's a specific to Orlando Pete button. No, I didn't really. I don't know. Probably like a lot of people, Trump got me really involved in politics on the opposite side. Like, I kind of had some opinions before Trump, but I would say, like, I start really paying attention during the run-up to the 2016 election, in which I did vote on the Republican side at the time. I voted for... I'm actually not going to tell you who I voted for because I'm extremely embarrassed. He is now my senator, so you probably figured that one out. But I like John Kasich a lot. I think that
John Kasich was an idiot. He was an idiot in Ohio, and he was just beyond an idiot.
I think he actually had a mind to try to work together, and that's always going to be my standpoint. Is
No.
Let's get people who at least attempt to work together.
Kasich was very misleading, and when you look at how it ended with Kasich, he literally looked and this is going, it's talking internal party politics here, right?
Yeah.
The problem with Kasich, if you look, he said, "No, I'm not going to back out because if I don't back out, I'm going to win by default. That's what I like. That's literally why he wouldn't concede.
You mean in 16 or?
Yeah, in 16.
Oh, okay. Yeah. Yeah. I mean, I wasn't very aware of Kasich before 16. So even when I was in Ohio, like I had no idea what he had done or who he was.
Positive in Ohio was open up fracking.
Yeah.
Other than that, everything. But he's still better than
positive for you.
I hate to say he's better than DeWine.
Yeah.
When Kasich didn't believe in something that he knew the party was supporting, he literally goes, look, fine, I'm not going to sign the bill. I'm not going to veto it either, but I'm not going to sign it. So my signature doesn't go to it, but it ends up law in 30 days or 90 days, whatever the time frame was. He did that to a couple bills where he's like, I don't support this, but the people want it. I'm not putting my name to it. I won't sign it into law, which means by not vetoing it, refusing to veto it, there's a time period in Ohio that it becomes law then. Oh, that's the only thing I'll give him.
So I'll say in 2016, like I said, I wasn't really tapped in. I wasn't paying attention. I just saw Kasich on that stage, and to me, he seemed like the adult in 2016. Of the, what? How many people run? 20 people running on the Republican ticket?
Kasich wasn't the adult on that one.
Kasich came across as the most mature of all of them.
Kasich played a good game.
But I will say I didn't vote for him because I honestly didn't think he was going to win. So I voted for somebody who was polling high that I appreciated at the time. Now, unfortunately, my pick in 2016 has completely just made a fool of himself time and time again. That's Marco Rubio. I actually thought in 2016 he was a decent choice, and he just continues to make a fool of himself, where he'll say one thing, and then when the winds change, he changes his story.
That's a politician. He's still better than... See, the problem is, like, the sign you have up behind your head, right? One, my sign, I'm going to say, is way better behind my head. Just saying.
The Mandalorian?
No, that's fucking Boba Fett, bitch. This thing's long before the Mandalorian.
A Mandalorian. Apologies. I can't really tell from the screen.
Yeah, I'll cut you some slack. No, this is actually a painting. Actually.
Oh, okay. I can't really tell through the screen. He is a Mandalorian. I can't tell if it's Boba Fett or if it's, what's his face? So the picture, this poster over here represents not the man or the woman, Kamala, who were neither of my first choice. Private Pete was. I know Pete wasn't a private. I don't know what his rank was, but I don't think he was a private.
He was in the Navy, and he's an idiot.
You know, no, I don't think he was Navy. He was like
pretty sure it was Navy.
He was Air Force.
Pretty sure it was Navy.
Anyway, Pete lost.
No, I don't want to be wrong. Fact check me.
When he started trying to talk like Obama, he literally tried to get the cadence of Obama into his speaking.
Now you got me.
When Pete started trying to deliver his speeches as Obama, that's when I started losing faith in him. But he was my pick for a long time. That just represents a change. The first change that I actively participated in. That's why that sign is there. Was he my initial favorite? Absolutely not. What he represented was what I wanted. In the first campaign I worked for. So, yeah.
Let's see. Nope, United States Navy.
You were right. My bad.
Wikipedia.
I thought he was Air Force.
Rank of lieutenant, Navy Reserve.
So he wasn't Private Pete.
What is a lieutenant in the Navy? Like, what's that constitute as? What pay grade is that?
Can you translate? Oh, you can translate it based on pay grade.
Oh, 3. Okay.
So that's like 3rd level?
Well, that's like an Army captain.
Oh, so that's pretty high then in the Navy.
No, that's an 03. Okay, you got to think. You go. So let's go Army. Okay, so you have your 2nd lieutenant, which is an 01, right?
Officer, right? So we're not talking NCOs or
right. Yep, we're just talking officer corps. So, yeah. Okay, so your 2nd lieutenant, you could have just graduated college, right?
Right. Yeah, my brother-in-law commissioned in the Air Force as a 2nd lieutenant, and I think he's a captain now. Like he went
right. So it goes 2nd lieutenant, 1st lieutenant, captain, major, Okay, then you have lieutenant colonel, colonel. Then you go into the general rank. So no, he's not all that high.
So there's no admiral in the Army, only in the
No.
Navy.
No, that's the Navy. That's like their version of generals.
I see. Okay. I gotcha. So Pete was 3rd level commissioned officer.
Which is the equivalent of a specialist in the Army. Like, if you look at the enlisted ranks, 4 years, you're a captain.
After
not
only
that
4
long.
years?
4 years and you're a captain.
Really?
Pretty
and
sure.
captains command...
I don't know for the Navy,
companies?
so...
In the Army, captains command companies, right? Like 120 people?
Yeah, and a second lieutenant butter bar straight out of college is the platoon.
Did you say
commander.
butter bars?
Yeah, butter bar.
Like a gold bar?
Yeah, butter bar.
Because a silver bar is a 1st lieutenant, right?
Correct.
Yeah.
Yeah, second lieutenant butter bar. That's
okay, so FYI, my entire base of knowledge, Band of Brothers.
it's not a bad knowledge. So, but yeah, in that you run into that very thing where that they've graduated high school, right? Go do their college thing, and they come in acting like they know anything, and they have less. I've been doing this for 4 years.
Tom Hanks' son in Band of Brothers.
Yeah, you've been doing college for 4 fucking years. Now you've been playing at the Army. Now you're doing the Army.
Colin Hanks in Band of Brothers, where he shows up kind of like at the end.
Yeah.
And he graduated from West Point thinking he was hot shit, and don't get killed. Was it who said that? Oh, Ron Livingston, the guy from Office Space, goes, "Don't get killed." What are you looking at?
I'm looking up, see if I could learn to spell. How many? Lieutenants must also have between 9 and 11 years military service, while all ensigns are promoted to lieutenant JG, and almost 90% of lieutenants junior grade make lieutenant. The 04 section board only promotes about 80% eligible. Whatever. That doesn't even make how long does it take? There we go. Wow. DOPMA guidelines suggest that 95% of lieutenants junior grade should be promoted to lieutenant after serving a minimum of 2 years at the lower rank.
Gotcha.
Yeah, whereas, like, looking at the Army, I'm pretty sure this is showing me Army. Yeah, here. 4 years. So
4 years to lieutenant, 4 years to captain.
4 years to captain.
I gotcha.
Yeah. Let's see. Lieutenant junior grade in 02. Approximately 2 years after commissioning as an ensign, some officers may be in schools or training for their warfare staff specialty. Yeah, so promotion occurs approximately 2 years after commissioning for making it to 02. And then the next one was 03.
Yeah.
Yeah. Or they make way more money than they probably should if you think about it. Oh, yeah.
I have no idea what they get paid, so.
Like $4,000 a month.
It's not bad.
Yeah, but you got to think that, oh, hey, I've done, like, your brand new butter bar lieutenant. Oh, I've done, no time in the Army minus college. They're making more money than, your brand new private who's got the same amount of fucking experience.
Yeah.
You got the college degree, bro.
Yeah, that they don't have to pay for either.
Ain't that nice? I started my master's this week. I'm going to be a ridiculous amount of money in debt by the time I'm done. But that was my choice.
What I'm going to say is it should be service equals citizenship.
Are you talking about Starship Troopers right now?
Yes, I'm talking Starship Troopers. Because here's my thing, right? to kick back to the problem earlier, I got in a big fight with somebody earlier this week on all this, right? And one of the arguments was, well, what the fuck? That, fuck, like one of those, like, fuck everybody over there. It's like all the Afghans who became citizens of the U.S. were because they either female married to the male, right? Or the male served the U.S. military, like as an interpreter, in some way put their lives highly at risk, many of them injured in the process. But we let all these Mexicans across the southern border and go, hey, in this infrastructure bill, we're going to bury amnesty in it and a immediate path to citizenship. But these guys, like our interpreter from 0809, who had served for years before that even, right, didn't get his citizenship till 2014.
So, absolutely, anyone who served the U.S. should absolutely get citizenship. That shouldn't be a question. If you are in a hostile environment like Afghanistan and you choose to side with the United States, knowing that, if you are found out, assuming the Taliban wouldn't take that very friendly, or Al-Qaeda, I don't know how you say it.
Taliban.
Assuming you put a target on your back and your family's back,
fucking idiot,
for deciding to assist the United States, you better get a one-way ticket to. I almost said Detroit. That was terrible. You better get a one-way trip to the United States, citizenship, service guarantees citizenship. Yeah.
See, and the other thing is, what little known fact, we both served with. Well, we don't point in the right direction. We both served with a lot of guys who were not American citizens serving the U.S. Army, not in guarantee of citizenship, but guarantee of expediting the assistance of their citizenship as Americans. They weren't even guaranteed they would be Americans. We're one of the only countries that does that in the world. Mexico, you can't even join the Army if you're not a natural-born Mexican. Like, not an immigrant, natural-born, that's it. We're one of them. We look and say, you don't have to. We're like the French Foreign Legion. We don't give a fuck who you are.
I was born in America.
Where were you born?
Italy.
Huh? I hear it's nice. Never been.
It's pretty nice.
Were your parents military?
No, his parents weren't military. He's half drunk right now, too.
He's pulling out. Okay.
Yeah.
Were you born in Kentucky?
His parents were Americans, but he had dual citizenship.
Oh, okay.
Oh, fuck. I was about to say something. No, I was going to say, no, Italy was a nice place out here until about 2020. Then just not so much. But I hear that the mobs are diminishing because they were all old.
Glass half full? Sorry. That's so shitty.
Half a glass.
My glass is empty, actually.
But no, I mean, that was...
All right.
That was one of the joys of the whole issue, is that it's like we let all these people over our border, no problem, willy-nilly. But we're not doing anything to help these people. And they go, well, we secured the airfield.
So where's this coming from, this narrative that our borders are open and everybody's just coming across? I mean, I've heard it on Fox News, but, like, where's the reality of this situation?
Border Patrol. The reports coming out of Border Patrol, the actual leaked audio of the head of the border.
Our southern border is like at all time like shit fest.
Well, hasn't it always been?
No.
Haven't people always cross the border?
It is worse now than it was before 2001. Like when 9/11 happened, our southern border was tighter than it is now.
Okay, so not talking the last 20 years. I'm talking about last, let's say, 8 months. Because Fox News loves to show images of a border cross open and immigrants coming through, which is a total lie because that's not what's happening. They're being moved to a facility. They're not being allowed into the country until they've had a chance to be processed. However, it's my understanding, and we're going to get into politics here, it's my understanding that Joe Biden is continuing the Trump era policies of very little of approving asylum requests, and most people who cross that border that get caught that are moving illegally are returned to Mexico.
No, he ended the return to Mexico policy.
And so it's my understanding that a Texas judge canceled that. And he didn't fight for it. That it's still.
This is the same guy who the Supreme Court said the moratorium on evictions is unconstitutional. You cannot do this, and he goes, moratorium on evictions. Anyways, I don't give a fuck. He doesn't care. For the guy who said I'm better than Trump, he sure as fuck is doing exactly whatever he fucking wants. Like, there's no fighting in court. He goes, okay, well, I'll do it anyway. And then it'll be good till it's in court anyways.
That what's being shown of people just being let in, just like, here you go, have fun in America, is a lie. So I don't know if that's true or if it's not true. I'm just saying, like, one side says one thing, the other side says another.
There's a lot of busing going on.
Busing is moving people to holding facilities for their hearings regarding asylum.
Then you wouldn't be needing to bust them deeper into America. You don't have to bust them to Tennessee.
Aren't they using, like, empty prisons for this? Aren't they using facilities?
What?
They can't just keep everybody, like, at the
So
border.
here's my question. Can you speak out of both sides of your... Not you, plural you. Like, can you speak out of both sides of your face at the same time? How can you say crime and imprisonment is at an all-time high, but then go, we're putting them in the empty prison space we have because we have so much of it for all these thousands of people? Like, you're talking out both sides of your face. You can't say that there's empty prisons, but then look and say there's no emptiness in our prisons because of the, like, you're on that policy, like, you're speaking out both sides of your face. Not you, but plural you. Like, that side of the argument. Like, we literally have the head of Homeland
detains immigrants in over 200 detention centers, including privatized facilities in state and local jails, juvenile detention centers, and shelters.
Now,
so I just heard. It's been a while, so I can't tell you.
So the other thing is
prisons.
Look at the other factor of where are those prisons located, right? A lot of those prisons are
in Texas and the Southwest.
Well, in Tennessee, things like that. A lot of them, this is where I touch conspiratorial. Gods of YouTube, I'm just explaining the thought that's going on other people, not necessarily my own opinion, is that they're saying that they're all Republican strongholds, and if this infrastructure plan goes through that grants asylum or immunity and or what do they call it? Amnesty and citizenship to these immigrants, that now that they're going to be beholden Democrat voters, and thus they'll chase out the Republicans in that area. That's the conspiracy theory of this. They're not helping their case when leaked audio footage of the director of Homeland Security says, we have to get this shit under control. We cannot sustain this.
Okay,
after he just in a speech said otherwise.
So what is he referring to? Is he referring to the fact that they're coming, or is he referring to the fact that they are being held in detention centers? So here's the thing. This is.
I'd have to have the quote. I don't have
the source. When you stop giving resources to the countries that people are leaving from, and then they come here, you have to fix the root cause. What's the root cause of why people are immigrating to the United States?
Biden said it's Afghanistan. Biden said that there's no point in giving money to those people and fucking let them stay there. That's what Biden said. So why can't we say the same thing to the countries that don't benefit us at all?
What are we talking about right now? What are we talking about? We're talking about the southern border. So what is the root cause that they are leaving their homes to come to the United States?
Again, that's what I say. It's the two sides of the face concept. Not you like Mike you, but like the Democrat Party right now that can't get their head wound on to talk out one side of their face. You literally, the argument is, well, if we put the money there, the people will start wanting to live there, blah, blah, blah. But we've been sending all this aid to that country anyways. We haven't stopped the aid. We, in fact, increase it. So if we keep increasing the aid to these countries and they get worse and people want to leave, then what's our money being? No, it's being freaking embezzled and everything else. It's always happened.
When did the massive caravans start? Did they start after the money stopped flowing? Okay.
The money
However, on the other side of that coin, I'm an accountant. Okay, I'm an accountant. So the other side of that coin is the money being mismanaged. Can we better oversee the money? People complain about Kamala Harris never visiting the border. Well, she has said she is fixing the root cause that is causing this immigration influx, okay? So that immigration influx starts in the country that they're in. So I don't know what she's doing, but I hope to God that she's helping to oversee the resources that should be directed to these countries to better use rather than embezzlement, corruption, and fraud.
So let me look at it this way, right? Let me give you the better version.
Sorry, let me finish that thought. If Kamala Harris is supposed to fix the problem, if Biden says Kamala Harris fix the problem, then everybody's like, Kamala Harris hasn't visited the border. Well, the problem is not the fucking border. The problem is the root cause in the countries that they're fleeing to come here. That their children are dying. They're being either forced into gangs.
No, because
forced onto drug use. You know what I mean? Or not forced onto drug use, but forced into gangs, forced into terrible living situations where they see America, land of the free, home of the brave, much better living situation. Let's go there.
So I put a fence.
Has to do with their local.
But and this isn't wall concept. I put a fence on my backyard to stop my dogs from getting outside my fence, right?
Sure.
And also to stop my neighbor from having to deal with my dogs. Okay, I walk my fence because I'm in charge of my fence, the border of my property, to ensure there is no damage where I cannot see in general because there is a privacy fence. I only see it once a week when I mow the lawn. Should that be the only time I go, or should I focus on the root cause of the mosquitoes, which are my fence, inside my fence line and outside my fence line, my border, right?
About mosquitoes.
No. Hold on. No. I'm using a reference point of something real that that exists, right? I have mosquitoes. I shit you not. A stupid amount of mosquitoes getting into my house, right? Sure, the bug zappers only do so much, but I can't do anything about the river behind my house. I can't. It's not my property. It's not mine. So is it my responsibility to fix that and pour money into that river to get rid of the mosquitoes, to treat it? Or is it my job to treat my root cause problem, which is my fence line? Inside my fence line, I can treat the grass. I can put up mosquito trap, right? No, hold on.
This is a very flawed argument because we're not talking about mosquitoes. We're talking about human lives.
Hold on. Because you're an accountant. Constitutionally, your accountants on the money to other countries doesn't matter because the Constitution does not give the federal government permission to take my money, tax dollars, and give it to other people. The argument has always been, well, constitutionally, you can't have hold on, I got a cat fight literally going on right next to me. I've got to end this real quick.
Barney Simpson says never break.
Anyways. No, it's like literally like the little new kitten will not beat on the older cat. And it's like the older cat doesn't have front claws and the kitten does. So it's not a fair fight. So, but anyways, no, this is where I'm getting at. I can't do anything about that field, right? I have an influx. Sometimes it's stronger, sometimes it's less. I have to do something about my property to control what comes into mine uninvited, right, to my property. The Constitution says that you can't just spend my money on other countries. The argument has always been, well, welfare system, the welfare. Well, you can't just constitutionally take my money and give it to other people. Okay, let's ignore that one, right? But if you want to argue you can't do that, or you should, what gives you the right to take my money, billions of dollars worth every year, to give out to all these foreign countries all the time, well, especially when there's no benefit to us? Biden just said Biden just said this war in Afghanistan was a waste of money, lives, everything, because we're not nation builders. We're not supposed to be doing this. This was a waste. What interest do we have there? What interest do we have everywhere else? Guatemala, where they're coming. Venezuela, where they're coming from. Mexico, where they're coming from. Colombia. What interest of that is America's? It either is of interest or it's not. We can't talk out of both sides of our face.
Well,
No,
sure.
Kamala doesn't need to go find out the root cause of the problem and pour money at it. She needs to find the root cause of our security issue, like I do my fence line, and that I've got these things coming through my fence, breaking the security, right? For me, they're mosquitoes. For other people, they're illegal immigrants, illegal aliens. Because there's aliens are real, all right? Neil deGrasse Tyson can fuck it. Aliens are real, all right? He just is using the wrong
They weren't
definition.
real. He was just saying if you don't know, you know. You know.
Right. But so my job is to secure my property, not to secure everybody else's from the mosquitoes. Like last year, I planted a shit ton of citronella plants. Kept them down fairly good. Did it help my neighbors a little bit? Yes, it did. It helped them a little bit. But
What's the difference? Give me a difference between helping the root cause of the problems in the countries where the immigrants come from and Afghanistan. Where's the difference? We send money to these other countries to build better lives. Where's the difference?
politics. You want that? We didn't go to Afghanistan. We did not go to Afghanistan to better their lives. We went to
I'm
Afghanistan.
saying you said the Constitution says we can't send money to other countries.
Right. But we did not
spend in 20 years on the Afghan war. I'm not belittling the Afghan war.
No.
I'm not belittling the soldiers who lives lost.
What I'm saying is, we went over there. We went over there to end Al Qaeda, right? Absolutely, because they attacked here. Biden, well, you know, if they'd come out of Yemen. I'm sick of you bringing up Yemen. All right, they said the same thing. Not you. No, not you. It's like they keep this is a talking narrative. They're like, well, okay, is Afghanistan going to be a hotbed for terrorism again now? And they're like, well, you know, we've got terrorism in Yemen. It's like, why do you keep bringing up Yemen? You want to bring up problems? Let's bring up Benghazi. All right, let's bring up that because you're doing it again. All right, fuck you. But no. So we went in to end terrorism, right? Did that require us to stay? To a degree,
right.
Yeah. We have to keep a small
terrorism.
residual force. Should we? Now, the next question
Define terrorism. Define it. Is defining terrorism only involving terrorism on U.S. soil? That's the only reason we should intervene.
No.
So right now we have a terrorism problem in Central and South America causing people to leave. What is terrorism? Terrorism is political or religious-backed beliefs that cause one to cause violence to others and fear to move their agenda forward. Right or wrong?
Okay,
So
but you have to look where here comes the fun of life and the fun of morals, right? This is the fun of morals because where do you draw the line? That becomes the deal. Do we draw the line when it affects us, or do we draw the line when it affects anybody? It's a game of morals. It's a moral thing. As a Catholic, I'm supposed to defend the morals, the rights for everybody. As an American, I'm supposed to defend them for Americans. Where's the line? You got me. I'm not going to tell you I got a good answer. What I'm going to tell you.
Both affect America. One, we lost a lot of lives in the Twin Towers, and we took a lot of money, and years. We went to Afghanistan. We now have a problem on the southern border where people are leaving their home country due to whatever the circumstances are.
But here's the thing,
you could label it terrorism. You could label it just they're searching a better life. Well, maybe we can help make a better life for people otherwise than just sending military.
Here's the thing, right? When there's a national disaster, right? Mm-hmm. There's been one in the last 7 months, right? That Biden went to. Biden went down to Florida, didn't he? When that freaking hotel collapsed or that apartment collapsed.
I think he came down here. Yeah.
Biden did that. Okay, so there's a problem on the southern border. Why didn't Kamala? Why hasn't she shown up to that? She's had plenty of time. Look, if she didn't do it in the first week, 2 weeks, 3 weeks, whatever, her itinerary has been all over the place. That's a whole side issue, right?
I don't know what she's doing. I'm not.
That's the point. Right
and
now, I think
that people are mad at her for not going to the southern border. Well, I'm like, the problem's not the southern border. Yes, that is a symptom.
No, the
problem is why they left in the first place.
No, because the immediate problem is fixing security, right? As a security backed person. Like I've done, like one of my first jobs out of the Army was security, right? Not security guard. I oversaw the security for an entire plant.
Sure.
Okay. Sure, we had people that would break in and steal stuff. Okay. That wasn't the root cause. Was the guy didn't think he was getting paid enough and stole shit from the company, which was millions of dollars of freaking because they're from dyes, tool and dyes and freaking gauges, the high priced aluminum and copper. He stole a shit ton of money, right? When he took his truck in and got it, right? He did it after security went lax. Why was he able to do it? I resigned, and then he ended up doing it later, 2 months later, because nobody focused on security anymore. All right? The problem is you still have to hold security. What's the root cause of that problem? Hiring a guy who actually had some sort of freaking prior to him, right? They should have done more research, look into the problem, but it still didn't stop needing to maintain security here, tighten the security here. You can look at the root cause. It's the same thing with this Afghanistan thing, which I think is hilarious, right? They keep saying this, right? They keep going, well, right now we're focused on the mission. Now we can do after action review later. We can go into all the reasons that this might have been a failure or might have been successful later on. Right now we're just focused on this. But at the same time, we've got stuff going on in Africa and we've got stuff going on over here. It's like, so you're incapable of doing two things at once with all the employees you have? Shut the fuck up. Shut up. You can tell me right now where the flaw was and how you're going to make sure that flaw doesn't affect the rest of the mission. Don't tell me that you can't look and go, here's where we screwed up now. Same thing with the southern border. You can fix the security now and work on the other problem. We are not so short-minded and one-brained where we can't do multiple things at once.
But does that require a publicity stunt? Does that require a publicity stunt? Do you need Kamala to go to the southern border and say, hi, we'll work on the problem? Or maybe we actually fix the problem and slow the increase in migrants.
Here's the funny thing, right?
And the other thing is you're talking about security. We have an infrastructure apparatus in place.
That's obviously failing. It's got flaws, fails, failures, right? So here's the thing. Here's the funny thing. You're looking at it as a publicity stunt, right? Because you're on that side of the aisle. On this side of the aisle, and I'm not far diehard conservative where it's like, oh, the Democrats can't do anything right. I'm looking and saying, as a leader, if my people, I've been put in charge of this, and my people's morale is falling. It's my job to go down there and tell them, look, I'm here with you. I see your problem. Show me what you see the problem is. Show me. No. Fuck what your commander showed me. You show me. And then the commanders are like, fuck, don't you fuck me. Don't you fuck me. And the little guy's going, you should have told him. You should have fucking told him. Because now I'm going to tell you, man, this is exactly what the problem is. Because it's just like I do at work right now. If there's something so drastically wrong, there's such a drastic problem, I am not afraid to go past people straight to the fucking VP. I've gone straight to the president of the company because I looked and said, oh, hell no. I'm done with this shit. I'm done playing fuck games. I'm done. I'm done. And
the problem isn't.
And you know what?
The problem is the root cause in those countries. Why would going to the border not be considered a fuck game?
No.
The governor of South Carolina sent like 40 or 50 National Guard to the border, and then recently she went to the border and she had this photo op. It's a fucking publicity stunt. She wants to be the fucking president.
To you, the
some crazy person who thinks that the
border security important to you or not? Is it a priority?
Why wouldn't it be important? But the more important problem is, why are they coming here? It's like,
that's not what I asked. That's not what I asked. No, I'm root causing. No, because right now we're headbutting. I'm trying to break this down so we can come to at least an understanding, right? A group understanding. So, okay, we're butting heads here. That's why I said, no, we'll break this down step by step. It's kind of like, it's the one thing, whether you like him or hate him, Steven Crowder does right with the Change My Mind sessions. He goes, no, let's shove that aside. Let's come back to the talking points. Let's define things. Let's make sure we're on the same page. So the first question is, because some people it's not. Some people it's not. So it's even harder to have this very conversation. Is border security an important thing or not?
Sure.
Okay. Now, right now, where I say root cause, we have caught, which means There's more than just what you catch. It's just how it works with security, right? Okay, we have caught people terrorists on the terrorist watch list coming from Yemen, not Afghanistan, coming from Yemen and crossing the border. They have been caught, right? Okay, so the problem solved, right, for those individuals. Caught, stopped, can't commit an act, right? Because border security was there, right? But if border security people are saying there's a failure rate that they don't see how they can solve, right? And somebody, the president, the guy overall in charge, which, don't be wrong, I'm more critical that Biden passed it off to Kamala and didn't go down there his damn self. Because he's always, I'm better than Trump. So show it. Just show it. That's all I ask. Show it. If you're better, show it. I demanded the same thing of everybody. Every leader, I demand it. If you downplay the guy behind you, then show me how you're better. I don't think there's a purpose to any one of them fucking bad-mouthing the guy before him. They could literally look and go, Biden could have looked and gone and said, hey, look, President Trump did a great job with warp speed, getting this vaccine. Guess what? Yeah, he did great with it, but we're going to pile more into it, and we're going to make it even better. Okay, own it then. Look and be like, yeah, it's his. He started it. Yeah,
I haven't heard him say
that's the Mustang. But now we got the Mach 1, bitch. Now we got a Mach 1 over here.
He may not have said it, but Jen Psaki said it.
It doesn't matter. Jen Psaki is...
She speaks for the president.
Jen Psaki is Jen Psaki. Jen Psaki a lot of times goes, well, I'm not going to speak for the president. Well, either you do or you don't. She needs to make up her mind. I think all of those people are asinine people. I think all of them. Okay. Every one of them, Trump, Biden, Obama, all those fucking they're talking heads just to avoid fucking talking. They could do the same thing just on a piece of paper, write down, answer questions, and do it. And avoid the questions they don't want to answer. It's the same thing.
So
I think it's better when you put Biden on the spotlight. The president, speaking for himself, like when he got questioned the other day, putting him on that spotlight.
Little Jay.
Yeah, I see that. It's fine. He's probably drunk. But,
so it's almost 11 o'clock, and I do need to call it by 11. But I do want to say, you're right. Let's cut through the BS. Let's cut because we are buddy heads. I agree. Border security is important.
Right. Okay. So here's my thing. Right.
Also,
as a soldier,
hold up.
Soldier and police officer. No. I think here's where we're going to understand each other. Right here. This is where I look at it. I look at it this way. Instead of looking at it politically, I look at it this way. As a soldier, as having been a police officer, yes, military police, but it was two separate jobs. If my commander of my post, if I said, sir, we've got this problem here, and he knows there's a problem, and he puts a guy in charge of it, he doesn't expect them to go out to the city to see why people are doing it by themselves separately. He wants them to go down to the people and make them feel like they're important to that person. Kamala it's not a publicity stunt. Fuck the publicity. Don't let any cameras be there. Let her go down there. I think that's the worst part is we let the media everywhere anymore. That's why we can't fight a war fucking smart anymore. Right? The media, look when we invaded Iraq, the media is like, oh, we're preparing to invade, but not saying where we're at. And it's like, you think freaking Saddam Hussein doesn't know his country well enough to know, I recognize that giant landmark behind you that you're live reporting at, and you're going to be leaving in 2 hours? Well, you'll be here at this time. We got people waiting for you. No, the media needs to get their fucking noses out of some of this shit. They're important in some ways, not important in others. Sometimes they just need to let people do their fucking job. My thing is, Kamala, if it was just reported, yes, she went down there, she met with the regular Border Patrol officers, no photography stunt, nothing. They want to show her getting off the plane, getting on the plane, fine. She needs to make those Border Patrol people feel like they matter to her, that border security is important to her. She's not going out and saying, look, I'm trying to find the root causes. She's just being quiet about it and fucking going on about it. No, they need to make a point about this. Not Jen Psaki. Kamala has her own speaking people, right? They need to come out and say, this is what we're doing. Why is she flying to goddamn Vietnam during the fall of Kabul? I think that got canceled. I don't know for a fact. But she was supposed to be flying to Vietnam. Let's fly into Saigon while we're having freaking Kabul, Saigon 2.0. That's going to make everybody feel special. Good for you. Add more to the
okay, so like because Vietnam. Especially the vice president is a largely symbolic role. I will grant you that, yeah, maybe it wouldn't hurt things to have her go down there and let them know she's got their back.
Especially if Biden keeps going the way he's going, because there's a good chance the Democrat Party, even if Biden is fully cognizant, the Democrat Party is looking, going, you're not playing this right. He's either 25th Amendment, impeachment, something. He keeps pushing the Democrat Party wrong. They'll push for an impeachment on him themselves. But it's not going to be like the Republicans are calling for, which is a high crimes and misdemeanors for dereliction of duty, leaving Americans behind.
Oh, Republicans? You mean Marjorie Taylor Greene?
Do what?
You mean Marjorie Taylor Greene?
No, fuck that. How about fucking? I've heard it straight out of fucking.
She's the one who filed the articles of impeachment.
No, that was already no. They're saying right now we will file if need be. If he does not do something to fix this, it was Lindsey Graham, which like him, hate him.
Anywhere. It's not going anywhere. It's not going anywhere.
No, look,
it won't even pass the House.
I don't know. I'm not saying there's a reason that Pelosi said last year when they were talking 25th Amendment before the election thing, 25th Amendment with Trump, that she goes, this isn't about Trump. They just want to know how the 25th Amendment worked. They were just investigating how it works. The thing being, Biden is what happens, not when you actually support Biden. A lot of people don't. His numbers are dwindling, which, so what? It happens. Ebbs and flows of politics, right? I'm not dumb. Ebbs and flows of politics. One decision will bring you up. Another decision will bring you down. And you're going to ebb and flow of politics, right? Of but a lot of people didn't vote for Biden because they thought Biden was, as he thinks he is, the best man for the job. And he's got the experience. A lot of people voted for anybody to not have Donald Trump. That was the problem. That's not the right way to vote at all. That's not smart voting. Like even you looked and said, like even when it was Hillary versus Trump, it was the better of two evils is what everybody was saying. We're making a decision, but not anybody but this person, right? That wasn't the thing. With Biden and Trump, a lot of the people, it was anybody but Trump. They didn't care, and there is the newspaper articles where the news media was looking and calling out, and I wish I could remember which one off the top of my head. And if I went back and listened to like 2 days ago, even on Tim Pool, he quotes the article again. That even the news media is, we just need your corporeal form, Joe Biden. You just need to stay alive. We don't need your brain. We need your body. Because that is to the point a lot of people, not everybody. I'm not saying
everybody. Have you seen that show, Let's Be Real, where they use Muppets?
No, I haven't.
Oh, you got to check this out. It's funny as shit. And so it's like Pelosi and a Joe Biden. And Pelosi's like coaching Biden for like his debate with Trump. And he goes, all right, Pelosi goes, okay, Joe, just like we promised. He goes, stand here and not be Trump.
And the other thing is, Biden really didn't run. He never told us what his policies were. That was a lot of the problem.
That's not true at all. He had a whole page. He has a whole website. He had a whole campaign website. He talked about his policies.
The whole COVID.
He talked about his healthcare plans.
The whole COVID, he was sitting down, not fucking answering questions, not dealing with anything. His campaign was run really fucking. So how do you get elected president without running a real campaign?
He ran a real campaign. What are you talking about?
Hillary ran more of a campaign than Biden did.
So what's a real campaign?
Real campaign isn't just going, here's my name and here's some press releases and I'm gone. You need to actually campaign. That way people can see you, know what you're about. Not go, I've been in politics for 40 years.
No,
you know
everything about it. You're quoting a Fox News byline, which is terrible, and you're better than that. He didn't hide in his basement. He went to events. Now, he is an older gentleman. In the era of COVID, he was responsible. However, he did go to events. But he didn't hide in his basement the whole time.
Okay, I'm sorry, his bedroom. Fine, I'm sorry. Away from the windows. Because maybe the virus at the time could have made it through windows. I'm telling you, literally this man did not do half of what he fucking should have for it. And I'm not just talking Fox News headlines. I'm talking, I watched this shit and I'm like, you're telling me you're going to vote for this guy? Really? Because it was Hillary all over again on the concept of Hillary. Like everybody goes, well, is she healthy? Is she okay? She fell. Biden, it's like, Okay, right now he finally decided to stay. They're literally the leak coming through saying Biden, the reason he was going back to Delaware after having just left Camp David is he's having problems sleeping. And you know what my answer was? Good. You left how many Americans behind? I hope you're having problems sleeping. But you don't need to go home for that. And I didn't think Trump should have been in Mar-a-Lago as much either. Don't get me wrong. I didn't think Trump should have been in Mar-a-Lago as much either. I didn't think Biden should have been out doing his golfing. Trump should have been doing his golfing. I'm sorry. I understand an occasional vacation. I also understand the president's never actually truly on vacation. Okay? Right. I'm not a complete idiot there either. But there's a certain thing about representation of like Kamala going down to the fucking border, of being in the White House when we're in this thing, because people got pissed off at Ted Cruz for flying to Cancun with his family. All right. Because they're like, well, what are you doing for our state? He goes, I'm a senator in Washington. I can't do anything inside the state. I do this shit in Washington. Yeah. You know, that's on your Democrat, you know, like the ones that flew to Washington to avoid voting, because whatever. I mean, here's my thing. Do what your rank can handle is what we say in the Army. Do what your paycheck can handle. If you're willing to go to jail for it, by all means, do what you think's right. Do what you believe in, and do what your constituents actually voted you for, right?
That's exactly what they did.
I'm not saying that they were wrong, but what I'm saying is there's also the perception that goes with things. Ted Cruz, it looked really bad. Was there a damn thing he could do other than freeze his ass off? No, even he didn't have power like everybody else. What, he's supposed to let his family die?
Okay, so going back to the Kamala Harris at the border, yes. It's an appearance thing that's important to rally the troops. Ted Cruz should have been there in his fucking parka, freezing his nuts off. Should have done it. Yeah. Yep. All right, so back to this, and like I said, it's 11 o'clock, and I need to... Right,
yeah, I've got church.
We can agree that border security is important. We can agree that for appearance sake, as a largely ceremonial role, Kamala Harris should probably go to the border. However,
it's easier for her to go than it is Biden.
Can we also agree that there's a root cause that would fix the problem at the source? If you break your leg and someone hands you Tylenol to take the pain away, did you fix your leg? No, you need to go get the
Army says hand you 800 milligram ibuprofen, change your socks, drink some water, and take a shit, and you'll be fine. So, yeah, you want to hand them Tylenol? I'm all for hand them Tylenol. It worked for the Army. It works for everybody.
I'm just saying, your bone's never going to heal, and you're still going to have the whole problem. You know
that's
what I mean?
why, and
but
that's
you got
why
to go get the bone set. You got to get it put in the cast.
Fucked up. I mean, that's all fucking Army and VA. I wish I could say otherwise. So yeah, maybe they might not have the solution to everything with that idea of hand some ibuprofen out. Maybe that might be wrong. I was also trying to give some humor too.
I know, but we can agree on that. Yes,
I can agree. There's a root cause, but
there's a root cause that can be fixed as well as the other issues.
Can I tell you the one root cause that I think we can agree on that can never go away?
What's that?
The belief that our streets are paved with gold and we all have our white picket fence and we're all fucking millionaires, that everybody outside this country that's not in a first world country like France and I guess Germany counts, and the UK, you know, Italy, those countries that have it as good as, at least other than in some degree of differences in freedoms, as good as we have it, a lot of these third world nations, that's the perception. I mean, that was the American dream, was coming here to America, and you'll never kill that root cause problem where we are the grass that's always greener. To these countries, they see Americans like in Afghanistan. They saw Americans, you see that one lady hand her baby over the fence to a Marine in just that hopes that baby will have a better life and she'll never see her kid again. Because the belief that Americans are the moral equivalency of this entire world, which is part of why I take this Afghanistan thing so hard, the fall of Kabul, and what we're doing to our own people and the people there. That's part of why I take it as bad as I do. Because we put this appearance to everybody that we are these people, where this happens, where a mom feels that she can hand her child to an American Marine and know that Marine will protect her child just by seeing a flag on that shoulder. That flag represents something. And just by seeing that flag on that shoulder means something. You'll never kill that. And that's why people will risk their lives hanging on a side of an airplane, hoping not to fall to make it to this country. It's no different than the southern border. You're just seeing it live on TV of hell. But these people we owe it to. We owe it to them because we took it to them. They helped us. They're American citizens. We owe it to them. We don't owe letting everybody in, and we don't owe it to all of Afghanistan to let them into this country. We only owe it to the people that we made promises to those individuals. We made them a promise. You help us, we will protect you. We owe it to them. We don't owe it to freaking Guatemala. If we want to send money to help them, sure. How are we going to make sure their government spends it right? Look at Venezuela. How are we going to make sure they spend it right?
Money. I'm saying money and management.
They hoard the food. Are you willing to?
You're wrong. I'm not saying you're wrong.
No. I'm not saying you're saying it, but
to give back what we owe to those people in Afghanistan.
Are you willing to shed American blood to change that country? Not Afghanistan. I'm talking the Southern American ones. Are you willing to shed?
There are other solutions than military solutions. However, any human suffering is worth fighting for.
Well, the problem is I'm not saying necessarily that you have to send American soldiers, but you're going to have people that get kidnapped. You're going to have them murdered. It happens all the time for the non-government organizations that go to places. They go to the Middle Eastern. They have women there that got captured. Long before the Taliban. This was August of 2001, so before 9/11. They got freed. They got saved, but prior to 9/11. All right, so that just comes down to that. That's why I say, even non-government organizations, these NGOs, they risk their lives too, and in doing so, you run the risk of shedding American blood.
Sure, and that's always the risk you run. But of course, it should be avoided as often as possible. Sometimes I feel like maybe we have chosen that as the first choice instead of the last choice.
And then there's other, but then that just comes to a degree, secure the border and Mexico needs to secure their border. Convoys won't be coming through to the American southern border in Mexico if the Mexicans secure their border with those countries too, as well. They can't come through. They have to go through an entire country to get to our border. If you're talking them coming in on the rafts and stuff they're making coming through the Gulf, that's a different conversation. But if we're talking the southern border, it's not just on us to secure our border. Mexico needs to too. If they get trapped in Mexico, that's Mexico's problem then too, not ours.
And that's a money and management issue that we can be better about. We can act smarter. We can act better. It doesn't have to cost American lives. It doesn't have to cost their lives.
At the same time, we have the poor and the downtrodden here in America that are starving as well, and we owe it to them before we owe it to other people. Look at California. No, seriously. I'm talking the homeless. Okay. No, the way you did that, it looked like you were like, this argument. I think we should pour money into our own country. You have the obligation to help your own before you help yourself. Who are you supposed to feed first? Am I going to feed my child first? If I have freaking two eggs to my name, that's it. 2 eggs. Do I give them to, and I have 2 children. Do I give them to my children first?
And here we go again. Here's a whole other
No. I'm saying, do I give them to my children
first? Who
is
consistently stopping helping these people?
California? In California?
No. All of the United States for Social Security increases, for welfare increases, for health care, making sure people have health care, making sure that people have a livable wage in a place where minimum wage doesn't completely cover the cost of any
minimum wage. COVID proved minimum wage is garbage because now everybody's making more than minimum wage. Just go to work. That proves the Republican talking point of that proves the Republican talking point that.
But who is consistently stopping helping the people in this country?
All politicians, because they all talk out both sides of their face.
Who passes bills? Who presents bills to help the people?
Can I tell you a conservative talking point here that I think you can't necessarily disagree with?
Are you going to talk about trickle-down economics? Because Jeff Bezos just built a penis to space.
He's not an astronaut. I don't want to hear it.
Huh?
He's not an astronaut. I don't want to hear it.
I'm just saying trickle-down economics is
No. So let me finish. Democrats are content to hold power. Republicans are content to hold office. They're both the same fucking thing. They don't fucking matter. Democrats go in. They don't care if they're in office, really. They just want to hold on the power. Republicans just want to have that seat at the table and feel all pretty. Neither one does a goddamn thing. The easy answer is politicians. That's the answer, because Clinton had where he could have done something about it. He didn't. Obama had where he could have done something about it. He didn't. He controlled both. Right now, Biden could technically get through, but it's not pushed through $1 trillion plans. That's stupid and asinine.
So how do you pay
Because
for
you don't need all that pork in the bills, because you don't need it. Like when we did the stupid shit for the bailouts for COVID, right? Not that there's some of it wasn't necessary. I got it, but we didn't need to give to these freaking these arts performance fucking places. They're in D.C. that Pelosi's got money into. That's fucking asinine. All the money we spent on other things was asinine.
What about the
Pakistan
billionaires who got the
study.
PPP loans? What about billionaires who took PPP loans, where it wouldn't have hurt them at all to continue to pay their employees without taking money from the government? But you're talking about Pelosi and making sure that a
I'm sorry. That's right.
Make sure they pay their
No,
people.
that's right. That's right. Now we have Hold on. Now we have to switch. We have to be like Bernie Sanders, and we have to switch. We can't go the millionaires and billionaires. Now it's just the billionaires, because when you write a best-selling novel, you could be a millionaire too.
Sure.
Okay. So my point being, no, Pelosi's a millionaire.
Pelosi's
Pelosi's a goddamn millionaire. Don't just push it off on all the billionaires. Push it off on the millionaires too.
Yeah. Anyone who can afford to do better and refuses to, they're the problem.
But I also look and say, if you worked hard for your money, that's your money.
I have no problem with
It's not my job to tell you what to do with it.
I have no problem with people that work hard for their money. But I also have a hard time with people who have lobbied to make the tax laws as they are. That's why I believe in a minimum tax. I think a minimum tax is extremely important.
Flat tax. Everybody pays the same percent. Everybody pays the same percent. So the more money you have, the more money you percentage.
That is a minimum tax, Zac Jaggers.
No, but I'm saying, I'm agreeing with you. Flat tax, not this progressive tax plan, not all this freaking write-off, just a straight flat tax.
Everybody pays a rate.
HR 25.
No millionaires are getting my tax
now.
dollars in a tax rebate when they pay nothing. That's horseshit. And you know what that is? Republican tax plan.
You're right. You're absolutely right. The mom who makes
your taxes.
The mom who makes fucking $2,000 a year that pays into taxes and takes home a tax return of $10,000 because she's got 7 kids with 8 different dads. You're absolutely right. You should not be able to get.
Why are you more mad about that than people like Jeff Bezos who take more tax dollars and build penises to space? Why are you more mad about that? Sorry, your child's behind you. I gotta stop saying those words.
So my point being, what I'm mad about is the sheer fact that our tax system's asinine. I don't care who has more money and who doesn't.
No argument here.
The tax system is asinine, but the other thing is, don't get mad at the millionaires and billionaires who actually will give money to charity, right? Because if you want to look at it any other way, they do it for the purpose of taxes, right? Even if they don't care. Even if they don't care.
A hard life, and they get a little more tax rebate than I do, compared to the billionaires who are supposed to send it back to people and they don't. Who just invested in their pockets or into more money, more money, such as commercial spaceflight.
I don't feel worse for them. I don't feel worse for people who don't pay into the system and literally just milk the system, because it does exist. It may be anecdotal, but it exists.
But the problem is
for being at 11, 12 at night, it's anecdotal.
Is there's always going to be those who usurp the system. Just like you said, when there's security, there's always going to be people that get past. There's always going to be people that take advantage of the system. But there are people who really need it. And the argument to limit the people who are going to take advantage also hurts the people who really do need it. And that's why that argument is flawed, and that's why I'll never be on that side of that argument ever again. Because there are people who really do need it.
I'm going to say one thing right here, just to close it out before I go into.
I know, because I told you I got to go.
No, because what I'm going to say here is this: we did better as a country helping those in need through Christian charity right? And I'm not just saying that other religions, but the term is Christian charity, right? Before the government put its fucking fat nose into shit, people gave more to their community of their own dollar to help people out. They gave more. Instead, they look and go, the government will do it. Now they're like, why should I donate money? The government already helps them out. I hear it all the time. Churches fight tooth and nail to get funding for certain different things they're raising money for to help their community because of that.
I've got no problem with Christian charity, but I also don't think it's an excuse not for the government to help.
I don't think it's the government's responsibility. It's the community's responsibility. Local government, sure. Local government, not the federal government. Federal government shouldn't need half the tax dollars.
What hurricane flooded Houston most recently, a couple of years ago? And Joel Osteen wouldn't open his church, the old hockey arena in Houston, until the government came in and made him do it. This is the problem. Humans need government. What was it Ben Franklin said? That all men are angels, government would not be required.
Billy Graham Jr. went to try to assist for COVID, right, and open up clinics. And said, there's no pushing religion here. I'm just doing it. I've got these nurses and doctors that work for me. They refused. They refused him because he obviously was trying to push his politics. He's trying to push.
I don't even know what you're talking about.
This was happened when New York City was at
the big They refused. Who's they?
The government refused.
The government refused to let Billy Graham Jr.
allow Christian charity to assist the community.
In what way?
They said he couldn't do it.
They couldn't do any kind of Christian charity?
They wouldn't let him. They were saying he couldn't. No, that he was going to bring in doctors and nurses. Look up the article after this. Like, honestly, because it is getting late for both of us. What I will say is the problem is the government also wants to control religion, and religion started putting its nose too far into politics, too. I'm not saying that's not a thing either. But what I will say, though, is always make sure to use that hashtag, don't be a Nick. I should have gone through this once before in the middle of the show, but then Jason went on his thing. You can follow us on the Facebook at the Jaggers Juxtaplooza. You can follow me on Instagram at MPJags. Okay? The other Zach still has nothing. I'll have to do something about it. But you can get your official merchandise at cafepress.com/thejaggersjuxtaplooza. You can also, get like the yak emblem, like what's up on top. You can get like the Don't Be a Nick pineapple shirt, which if you watched more often, Mike, you would understand all the references here. But you're
sounds an awful lot like Don't Be a Dick.
No, it's Don't Be a Nick. Nick.
I know. I was making.
Remember,
if you remember the obvious pun.
Yeah, but that's. If you remember the first time you came on, I was having problems getting the other co-host. This was the Nick and Zach show. And he would never show up. Well, it was always my show first, with or without Nick. So don't be a Nick. The pineapple is because I chucked cans of pineapple at the other Zach in Afghanistan. Yeah.
Hey, while I'm here, if you don't mind, I'm going to do a little plug.
No, go ahead.
I'm going to start a health and wellness weight loss podcast, and I actually would like to have you come on and kind of talk about some of your physical training for the military. Would you mind?
Oh God, I might not be the best one. I was never that active.
Well, you went through basic. You had to keep in physical training, and so it's we're gonna talk about different exercise routines, weight loss things, mental health. On mine.
I've got no problem coming.
It's not a one size fits all. I just want to, I
try to bring my comedic personality that only ever comes out on the show in on it. So I was like, I'm not going to pretend I'm this great, glorious. Whatever.
No, I just want to get your military background, what you did, how you, that kind of thing. So
the other Zach would probably be good for it because has a lot of injuries he's actually had to deal with due to physical training in the military as well.
Maybe we'll do a show with both of you guys. But it's going to be called What Do You Have to Lose? And I'm probably going to do my first show tomorrow just on my own, just kind of launch the first episode. And then I'm going to start bringing people in, getting perspectives, getting workout or health, wellness, whatever they're doing. And so I kind of thought it might be a fun, get the military basic training perspective.
Right.
Clearly I never went through that.
Well, yeah. But what I would say though is, for you as well, make sure to, and all our viewers that aren't watching right now, because I can literally see I have 0 viewers at the moment. Even my wife at this point is like, "Hey,
your wife is bailed."
Yeah, my wife's over on the other side, like, I'm just going to kill all of you. It's like you're talking too much politics at the end of the night, and I'm ready to murder everybody. But no, she told me I'm sleeping with a 5-year-old. Great. There goes my spine. So talking about injuries and fitness, I'm kicked in the back of the spine. But no, yeah, go ahead. You want to make sure that people hit that subscribe button, that notification bell, and share this with your friends. Mike.
Yeah.
Shared us with your friends.
Yeah.
Oh, okay.
Because my friends don't give a shit.
No, okay. Are you smirking because you're doing that right this second? Like you got your hand back. You're like, wife, share this with friends. Shit.
You usually post it on my wall and then, people see it. But I'll share it. Yeah.
Well, are you following us on the Facebook?
I think so.
Because we post up there every week before we end up doing, and then you can just share it out there. We shoot for every Saturday around 8. Sometimes life takes a turn, but we shoot mostly for every Saturday at 8.
Cool.
Found once a week works easier for us because both of us drive truck. Granted, we're both home every night, which helps, but except when he's doing this drill status, which I'm almost glad that he's doing that right now because this is a tough topic for him to be able to address and watch because he's allowed, being a reservist, he's allowed more freedom to express his opinion because he's expressing him as a person, not as a soldier, but it gets all funky. It gets real weird on how you express certain things.
Yeah. Well, I've enjoyed your perspective. Always do, when it comes to the military stuff. And like I said, there's a lot of opinions out there, and I like to defer to people who are on the ground.
And like I said, the biggest thing is it's that we can come to a consensus, but sometimes you just have to shut off on part of that. You got that sign radiating through your head back there. I have nothing political around me.
Sorry. It was a purposeful choice. I'm not going to lie. Because I could have put up a background or something. Oh, I don't know if I can do a background on here. I can on Zoom.
With this, you can, but you have to have a green screen behind you, or blue screen. But no, the closest thing I have to political is I've got part of the Ender's Game series over there. That's kind of political sometimes.
I can do this.
I got Shakespeare in the room. Does that count?
We'll do one of these here. Kind of switch perspectives a little bit.
Well, yeah, that would work for what you're doing for your show. You keep the politics hidden. It would work better.
Well, I'll probably be on Zoom, so I'll have a virtual background.
Right.
I have this great virtual background in the office. I probably won't use it for my show, but it looks like I'm one of the talking head sessions on The Office.
Canceling for dance.
Yeah, my wife's like, wait, we might actually have to get Zoom because if dance class gets canceled, then my daughter, because of COVID popping back up again.
Even for a snowstorm.
Oh, snowstorm? Oh, I guess even for a snowstorm, they do dance through Zoom. We pay for my daughter to do dance. She did cheerleading and gymnastics before. This year, she wanted to do dance. So
okay.
Dance. We have tap and ballet shoes in the house now. Yeah. So, but yeah, I mean.
A last note for little Jay. I have all of his. He sent some articles.
Yeah, I saw that, and my screen sharing doesn't work very well with this computer.
I just want to let him know that I did open them, and I'll look at them. So I haven't had a chance to read all of them because we've been talking, but I have them all open in a browser, and I'll read through them.
Yeah, and there's certain stories that we're a little more willing to share off of Web Show that we're never afraid to share. That it's just one of those. When you're like, look at the guy who shot Bin Laden. Everybody has their own perspective because there's two guys who say they shot him.
Oh, I didn't even know.
Yeah,
Everybody's got a story.
Yeah, so no, I'm not saying we were there for that. That's a whole different story. But no. So if you put out your whole story of certain things publicly, somebody's always going to come in and say, "Well, that's not how that happened," or you'll always get those different perspectives of things.
Yeah,
like just the story of how I got blown up with. I've shared several times on this web show, shared with you. Somebody else's perspective very well could be different because there's so much going on at one time.
Yeah.
And if you have different vantage points, they could see something I completely don't see.
Yeah.
Which is a reason that find the root cause, but also check out the border. Check out everything.
Kind of like back to Star Wars. Obi-Wan said, "There's always perspective. Everybody had a different perspective."
Certain point of view. Is that what you're after?
Point of view.
Certain point of view.
Yes.
Yeah. But I also think that certain point of view was not kissing your sister. So Luke, I'm sorry, George Lucas punished you. Still less damage than Roundhead Ryan Johnson did with The Last Jedi. So
Luke Skywalker, we may be from Ohio, but we don't advocate kissing your sister.
no, that's Kentucky and Pennsylvania.
Of course.
I make that joke because the other Zach's in Pennsylvania. So
Yeah.
but
Right,
Ohio has the blue Appalachian people. I can't the weird people all around. I think this is the
West
longest.
Virginia border.
This is the longest we've taken this show in quite a while since I think when I had COVID actually. So, but you have a great night. It was good good being on here and having you here, especially with us being down members, because I was thinking I was just one person this show's not set up for. This has never been set up for a one person talking to screen. Otherwise it wouldn't run for more than maybe 10 minutes. But I appreciate that you were on, and yeah, I'm sure we can schedule in getting doing some assistance with yours as well.
Thanks, man.
Share us with your friends, not just the ones you're on.
Yeah.
But you know, go through it. Like I said, we do about once a week. So everybody who hasn't done that, go ahead and hit that subscribe button, notification bell, like button. Use that hashtag Don't Be a Nick. Follow us on the Facebook at Jaggers Juxtaplooza. You can follow me on Instagram at MPJags. And you can get your official merchandise at cafepress.com/Jaggers Juxtaplooza. As I've got my wife literally in the background going, I'm not going to like, I'm not going to subscribe. And she's already done it. She's just being a smart ass. She says it every time, smirking at me. And it's like, I'm trying to keep going with the flow of what I'm saying as I'm getting the background to it. So, but I think that's also the polite way of telling me it's time to chase children to bed. So,
All right,
good
man.
having you on. You have a good rest of your night.
Yep, y'all too. Take care.